Fuck me with a fish.
Welcome to Puddle Plains. We're doing our E3 Puddles talk. I'm Sis16. How's everyone doing today?
Cringe.
Good.
Okay.
Wahey.
Yeah,
Wahey.
We're too classy for that now, I guess. So it's fine.
Yeah. Joining us today, we have Pixel Plume. You can start.
Oh, I'm Pixel Plume. I'm starting.
I am Slim Kirby. I am following.
This year at E3 Puddles Talk, we're gonna be bigger, better, and fucking bigger.
You said bigger
Snack Attack
twice.
8.
All of those are lies. Okay.
I'm just Taryn, I guess.
Yeah, you are.
Not King Ken's on or anything.
So if you haven't seen any Puddle Talks before, we do this every once in a while. We talk about whether it's like some kind of convention or big news comes out. We shoot shit, talk about games.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're going to do today.
I like that Sis says every once in a while, which is true, but like, if you look at our upload schedule of videos for like the last year, it's like almost all, like this is all we do anymore, basically. Puddle Talk.
It's the true experience. We're just a Skype group.
Puddle Plains is a dead channel, guys.
Yeah.
No.
We
The
put
trailer
up
said
a
no.
trailer. We put up a trailer recently.
We put up a trailer, so
Yeah,
officially
we do have a
are a
movie
dead.
coming soon.
Officially, we are a dead channel if we put up
I
a
mean,
trailer.
I'm not in it, so like skip that shit, but
I could have
E3 boys.
We're here to talk about
E3.
E3, boys.
Yeah.
alright, we're going to start, we're going to go through all the conferences. So we're going to start with EA, because that was first.
I mean,
Should we qualify this video by saying this one won't have a certain game discussed in it in this particular video?
Which one? Dying Light 2?
I think he's referring to Knack 3?
Oh, shit. Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't announced.
A
so
game
that
so
wouldn't-
secret it's not even real?
Either way, there's something we might talk about for a long time. We might not. If it does get that long, we'll just like split it into 2 videos or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, we
Yeah.
have a lot to say about fucking,
You know what?
about game.
No, stop. Let's just start then.
Yeah.
Alright.
EA.
EA!
Bad.
Who's alright?
Yay.
They showed a lot of EA kind of games.
This presentation, I don't know. Like,
This is the only one I skimmed.
mhm,
I hardly watched this one
right. It
because
was,
I
That's
missed
fair.
it because I worked Saturday night.
yeah. Presentation was very EA-like. I'll say that. If you've watched EA before, you pretty much know how these things flow.
Yeah.
Just incredibly average, usually at the bottom of people's list. Kind of like that.
The first thing... Sorry, go ahead, Slim.
I was gonna say it's kind of like what they did last year, where they had like a lot of like, kind of like gamers that are part of like Twitch or just online community being like involved and
Some trending gamers.
Trending
Some nominees for
gamers, yeah.
next year's trending gamer award, probably.
Fuck does that mean?
Yeah, they had Battlefield 5.
Battlefield V, man. Let's talk about this
Yeah.
game.
I think it's got a Battle Royale mode now.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about Battlefield 5 was EA, like, I mean, obviously Battlefield's an EA franchise, and then they were like, here's Battlefield 5, and they showed, like, a story trailer for it. And then they were like, there'll be another exclusive peek at Battlefield 5 in the Microsoft conference. And then it was just a shorter trailer during the Microsoft conference, I thought.
yeah.
They did not focus on Battlefield at all. And I guess that must be because it's not ready yet. But it was very, like,
mean,
sparsely there.
Coming out this year, right?
Well, maybe maybe it's shit. Maybe it's just bad, and they didn't want to show it because of that. But I didn't get an impression of that at all.
Comes out October.
This is like a yearly release game, right? Like
Yeah.
COD, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the biggest news is that it's got a Battle Royale mode,
Yeah,
which every major shooter doing.
Way to open up an E3
The
presentation.
first game of E3 Battle Royale.
We were all
Yeah.
like, all right, buckle up, boys. This is the future of gaming.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I also want to point out that they've done a really good job at counting from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Better than some companies, for sure.
Wasn't there like a Battlefield 1 recently though?
That was last. That's what I meant.
Oh,
They went from Battlefield 1 to Battlefield 5.
I thought you were giving like an earnest compliment, like,
No,
oh,
why would I earnestly compliment Battlefield?
I don't know. You gotta give credit where it's due sometimes. Clearly, it's not due here.
The fucking Pepsi of Call of Duty? Like, what do I give about Battlefield?
Pretty accurate.
Alright. Anyone else got anything to say about Battlefield V?
I don't know, something happened. That's it.
Is there gonna be like a Game Boy spin-off where you fight aliens?
Probably
Alright, we're done.
Kickball, FIFA 19,
FIFA 19, what sports?
sports.
We were
If you like
watching-
that, yeah.
We were watching FIFA 19 on TV this morning.
Oh, were you?
How was
Croatia
that?
and soccer. We were watching the World Cup.
Nice.
Alex Hunter wasn't here. Who fucking cares now?
Alex Hunter hot off his 1,000,000 goal streak.
It's impossible though.
His impossibly high number of goals.
I was more invested in this FIFA 19 thing just because I know Ronaldo from The Simpsons. Like when Lisa,
Yeah.
Homer's dad was the referee. It's like, it's me, Ronaldo.
I do remember that episode.
Yeah. I
Just
love
wanted to
that.
pat his bald head or something like that. I don't know.
It looks really good, like all those games do for
Yeah.
some reason.
They're like
Gotta put money somewhere.
solidly made, right?
I think these are like usually considered like the best of like the yearly sports balls.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Also, I unironically said sports ball, and I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Force of habit. It's fine.
It's bad.
Have you guys ever heard that before?
I will say though, like, for the FIFA thing, like, when I was watching it, and then when I saw the Twitter people, they made it seem like when I was watching it, I didn't think it was as, like, sad, but, like, the Twitter, like, gifs and all that stuff made it seem like a very sad presentation, like, there was just little applause. Like, I didn't feel that watching it.
I think EA was kind of like that overall, wasn't it? I feel like
This
this was the one where they would wait.
Crowd.
Yeah, they would wait around for the applause and they just wouldn't come.
It was pretty rough.
They really
Terrible.
did Jeb Bush up there to tell them
Yeah.
to clap. Yeah, it was a very small crowd, not big like the other major
Okay.
companies.
I guess it was like the night before, right? So like
Yeah.
that might have had something to do with it.
Though.
Anyone else? FIFA 19.
Nope.
Alright.
I think, I mean, this is happening like a sizzle reel all the way down to in the Nintendo thing, but 18 and 19 are both going to be on Switch, I think they said.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
think 18 was originally, so that's cool. I guess.
If you like that, sure.
We like Switch. Sizz just got a Switch here.
Yeah, it did. It's
Everyone
my
adds Sizz on Switch.
Everyone adds Sizz on Switch
ID
and send him a,
number
send him-
888-888-888.
send him a copy of NBA 2K18 for his Switch. If you didn't already do that on his birthday.
They also showed a very big trophy that was.
They did.
They showed not the World Cup.
The,
Like that's what it was, right? Like that was the World Cup, but like absolutely not the World Cup because
Okay.
they let them have that.
They're just not thrilled to hold that cup.
I don't know if it was just the video quality, but it looked like it was like so counterfeit. Like the words on it, like you couldn't even like comprehend what the words were on the trophy either.
maybe it said L is real 2041 or something.
Alright. Streaming
They had some streaming thing.
I don't remember this.
subscription.
I don't remember either, to be honest.
Like,
I think I skipped
is
this one.
Origin their thing? Is that what it is?
Yes.
EA
Yeah.
is Origin.
Origin is like the EA's like net
Steam.
play like service
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
which is why we don't got Sims 4 on Steam, because
Yeah.
it's all Origin.
Origin is also garbage.
I mean, you can get Peggle for free on there, but I guess you can also get all
Sounds
these
fun.
new games like Madden, FIFA,
You
Battlefield
can
5, and
get
Anthem.
Peggle for free.
Yeah, you can get Peggle for free. I also got Plants vs. Zombies for free on there.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
that's
a
pretty
pretty
dope.
good game to get for
Pixel?
free, though.
Does
Honestly.
Pixel use Origin?
You gotta like haven't
Is this
used it in a
because
while.
Origin Story?
No,
I think
because
he just likes the Sims.
because when you like The Sims 3 at a certain point, they like force you to basically switch to Origin to
Okay,
play
yeah.
them. It's like, damn it. Okay, I got free games though, so that's something.
Hey, Plants vs. Zombies, that's a good game, and that was
It
not
is.
at E3 this year.
Nope.
It was
You sure?
Oh, why are you talking
There's a lot
about
of zombies at E3.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not the plant variety, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of zombies because it's a gaming conference. You see.
Yeah, there's a lot of zombies, very few plants, I'd have to say, though. I mean, there were some.
There were some
Okay.
points.
Some
we had
guy
Star
in the
Wars
crowd
games?
some guy in the crowd talked about a Star Wars game.
Oh god.
Here's why gamers shouldn't be like the forefront of these conferences, because she just made that guy really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, this is like a guy, the developer, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, I don't think he had much to say yet, and
No, it's
guess-
very still early in development.
it's called Star Wars Jedi's Fallen Warrior or something.
And it's made by Respawn, who did Titanfall.
Okay.
Which
Oh,
I know
okay.
are pretty well received
Yeah.
games. I've played a little bit of the first one. So that could be interesting. There's not much else.
It was just like not a good. Like they should have just not bothered with this game this year because it's not coming out this year. They just like not. They didn't have anything to show. They're just like, hey guy, what are you doing?
Yeah. No clips, no images.
Fucking Star Wars, guys. That's it.
Hope you're not sick of Star Wars.
They
Between 3 and 4.
they were also like, hey, we fucked up.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, do we want to talk anymore about Jedi Fallen Warrior?
There's not much else to
I-
say.
I don't know.
I think we just talked more about Jedi's Fallen Warrior than that guy, that
I just-
developer
It
guy
was the
talked about
cringe
it.
part of
I just
it.
felt like Andrea was more interesting as far as her arc through that entire presentation. I don't know.
Arc.
Pixel, the only person who would know the names of the presenters.
I had to look it up. I forgot. I had to look it up just now. I did not remember her name. She's not a Margaret or a Nina.
I'm
like-
looking
That's fair.
at Pixel's notes for Battlefront 2. Pixel put General Grievous versus Obi Kenobi, and then he put Count Dooku,
I don't know how to spell
comma,
his name.
Skywalker, comma, Anakin. Pixel, who has not seen Star Wars, but he tried his hardest to get his.
So,
It's just needed
remember-
the world to know that Count Dooku.
So, remember how last year, after Battlefront 1 was kind of a big critical, like, it was just destroyed critically. They're like, alright, Battlefront 2 is going to be better. So this year they're just like, alright, we fucked up. Here's some prequel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Battlefront 2 had a very rocky start last year.
It had some solo stuff in there too. I definitely saw like the Donald
Yeah.
Glover,
There was, definitely a solo tie-in
Yeah.
event.
but I didn't. I
Um,
kind of skimmed that too because I was like, well, I'm never gonna play this. Like, even if they're saying it's gonna
Yeah.
be better, it's not. Like,
No, it's not. You have to keep doing damage control on something. Maybe, like, like at some point, people are just going to be like, never mind, we don't care.
I mean, they're adding a lot of stuff in. So if you do like the game, like that's cool.
I guess
Prequel
so.
stuff is cool, especially the characters they picked.
Isolate that clip because we need that for
Yikes.
something in the future. Civ 16, the prequel stuff is cool. But I mean, if you got General Grievous is a pretty like
pretty
it's
cool.
cool that you could play as him. I think.
Would you laugh at that?
It's cool. It would if you can play as him, then that's a cool concept. That's what I'll say about him as a character.
Sure.
What?
I want to play as Count Dooku more than anything.
Count
honestly.
Dooku.
General Grievous looks like he'd be like interesting to play as.
He looks
more than he is interesting as a character.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you want to play General Grievous, go play the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Was he in that? He
Yes.
played General Grievous in that?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, dude, I gotta get an Xbox One.
I think you can
American.
get that on Steam.
An Xbox version 1.
An Xbox One.
Anyway, so yeah, E3 2019 preview. They're just gonna be like, you didn't like that stuff either. Well, anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Here's Star Wars Battlefront 5.
Just so the reboot 1 and 2 are just 3 and 4, and that's gonna be fun.
It's a battle royale game now.
It's gonna be here's Battlefront 5, and it's just sorry to reuse this joke. It's just a Game Boy spin-off where they fight aliens because they don't fight aliens in Star Wars.
Give us a like if you get that joke.
Smash that like button, boys. Couple indies, I guess.
Unravel 2. This is the one where everybody was like, "Hey, I'm interested in this now." Unravel looks really like boring to me, personally. I feel like the whole like the visual style where it's literally just like as a realistically a CG world as you could possibly make. I feel like that just immediately I'm like, well, why would I want to play a puzzle platformer like that? I don't know. I was not even checked in for this, and this was like something that had like, some appeal to people.
I do feel like this is like Great Value, Little Big Planet, but like
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a co-op now. Use like a blue yarn guy.
it's also
love.
right?
Say again.
I think it's out now, right?
Yeah, it was out when they announced
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I know
It looks
people
cute.
were like, oh, they're red and blue, but like it could be on the Switch. Why isn't it?
Mhm.
It's
Because
also
not everything is going to Switch. It's
It'll
okay.
probably come to Switch in 7 months.
yeah.
I mean, the first one hasn't had it.
I don't think so. But yeah, also, yeah, it's only local co-op, by the way, for anyone who was, like, interested in getting it, just so you know ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
We're already gonna get a yarn game at some point anyway, so not this year,
Alright.
unfortunately. But that's for another conference. So that's
Oh, good feel. Come on, guys. Every time. Anyway, anyone else got anything? Also, it's not reflected on the notes, but the game is also, the 2 in this game is also spelled TOO, which,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
cute.
okay.
But yeah,
I think it looks
I think it does look cute too, but I kind of see where Snack's kind of going with this.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't look cute. Like, it just looks like, oh, they made some fucking real-ass rendered shit. Like, it's like there's not enough style to it, I think, is my big problem.
It feels like it's something that, like, this hasn't been done. I mean, obviously it has, because Unravel won, but, like, it just seems like something that's been done, like, numerous times already.
It seems like they were like, well, we need an indie-looking puzzle platformer for our conference, so here's ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Limbo without the aesthetic of Limbo.
With this kind of game, aesthetic is everything, is all I'm saying.
That's
I
fair.
think I was more receptive to this during the presentation, just because of all the other like crap we got before.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what that's kind of, I think, maybe why they showed it even, and also
Definitely
like where
is
a
the
lot
top
of
the presentation so
where
far.
the positivity is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the next one looks like quite a bit more interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was probably the most interesting game.
The Sea of Solitude.
Sea of Solitude. Yes. The poor lady. I don't know what was going on backstage, but she
Like,
was very out of
She was
breath.
just nervous.
Yeah, maybe she seemed like she ran a mile the way she was like talking. Like, I don't like mean to like, I'm not like making fun of her or anything, but like she just seemed winded when she was talking.
Yeah.
I will say, she was the only presenter that even drew my attention a little bit during this, because she was. I guess
True.
the game is like based a lot on like personal experience and stuff and all that. And it
Yeah.
seemed like, I thought she conveyed that well.
Yeah,
she
after
sure
the first
did.
30 seconds,
Yeah.
she got it under control, and it was a great presentation, I thought. She did an awesome job.
Like, so this is like they're like one of those artsy-fartsy indie games, right? Like,
It has a certain artful
Seeming.
way.
yeah,
It looks
Lot of-
interesting.
a lot of deep meaning behind everything.
You know what? I feel like this was the first game that I saw that there's sort of a weird trend this year where a lot of they were like, here's gameplay, but it's just a character like walking, and like in this one she was just driving around on a boat, kind of. It's all just like nothing is really happening in the gameplay for a lot of these games where they're showing it, and like there's definitely stuff that does happen in any game mostly, but
We'll get
just.
we'll get to the most heinous example of that later.
I think there were many heinous examples of that, more so than any E3 I can really remember in the past.
What's the game with the girl in the yellow raincoat?
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. That's what this looks like.
The
Style.
Pac-Man spinoff.
April
Yeah.
O'Neil's Great Adventure.
That's what this kind of makes me think of.
I thought it had an
Gameplay-wise.
interesting concept and it looked pretty cool, so I was into it.
Yeah. It does have an exact release date, 2019.
They just said 2019.
So-
Also, I'll only consider if it's like on a platform that would be
It's
ease
probably-
of access.
I was just gonna say ease of access.
That's my criteria for games.
Probably, I would hazard Steam at
Probably.
most, and maybe PS4 and Switch
I think it'll definitely
down the line.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, possibly.
I would say Switch more likely than PS4.
I don't know.
I would say PS4 more than Switch. So it's
Yeah.
just,
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
yeah. Because I know like Nintendo's kind of weird with like all their rules are so different for bringing games compared to the other two
For some
companies.
reason.
Yeah.
More sports ball. Unless anyone had anything else to say.
The checking off the boxes,
Okay. Okay.
and then the most hype fucking mobile game you guys have ever seen, baby.
Wait, where are we?
So yeah, sports ball, NBA, Madden, whatever.
But like they had young kids on there. Like
Who's that?
They focused more on the whole like esports thing or whatever for Madden than the actual game. So
Oh, yeah, they brought out like someone from the Steelers and like an esports pro,
Yeah,
and they
young
talked some
kids.
smack.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
They wouldn't even stand next to each other. They're like so spread
It was very
out
awkward.
through the entire
I mean, the
presentation.
esports guy probably like smelled or something. I feel like you know.
Yeah. And he was so nervous on stage, and his belt got fucking taken.
it got taken. Like it got stolen from him. He's still looking
He got
for
taken to
Stolen
TOO.
belt.
Yeah, it was rough.
So then we got this weird mobile game presentation, which we find out is Command and Conquer Mobile.
Skipped it.
I think that was a mistake. I liked watching. So they brought out two esports guys, and they
Mhm.
played a match
Right.
live. And they had a guy, they had
It was
it
bad.
commentated. I thought it was cool.
Sis
I thought
liked
was
it.
interesting.
I remember there was something going on at some other conference, and Sis goes, "Man, that Command and Conquer mobile game was way more interesting than this." Like, you know what? I feel like only Sis feels that way.
I think it was a cool way to show something that is otherwise boring.
I get that. I get that. I mean, it's a mobile game, but like,
I
You
feel
know.
like didn't everyone thought there was gonna be a new Command and Conquer at first, and then they were like, "But it's on mobile."
I think Odin brought this up, but like they showed the trailer after, right? Like, was that the
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
Yes, they did show a trailer after, like the trailer you'll see on TV.
for that game. Or maybe it was that. Like people thought that was gonna be the next actual one, and then it was also just
Yeah.
again for the.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing about it.
Yeah. Also, there was no Tim Curry in any of it, so whatever.
Yeah, space.
Space!
It seems like this is like a series that's kind of been like absent for a while, so this kind of sucks for people that were like wanting this.
Yeah, it has been.
I think it's a good way to ease it back in to see if there's still an interest, like a big interest.
Possibly, but you never, like, with this stuff, you never know. It could also just mark the death of this series.
True.
I feel like, I don't know, companies really need to, like, kind of understand, like, just because, like, a mobile game isn't everyone's cup of tea doesn't mean there's no interest in, like, actual games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're just like, oh, we'll try this thing, and if this doesn't work, it's literally just gone.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, I think there's going to be, like, a lot of people angry that it is just a mobile game, and they're going to see from that, or at least they should see from that, oh, well, maybe we should make an actual new game then.
That's the dream, but...
Yeah, it'll light a fire on them.
That's true. I mean, companies definitely are in some way aware of the general public's opinion on stuff, so...
Yeah.
I mean, we already found out that with Battlefront, that EA is at least aware.
That
Wait, like-
microtransactions, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't, like, anywhere in the... Oh, should we talk about, like, the no loot boxes part of the whole thing?
Anthem had that, right?
Oh, did it?
We'll get to that in a
They
second.
talked
Oh,
about,
yeah,
they
no,
talked,
you're right,
They
you're
talked
right.
about that in the end. They were like, and no loot boxes.
Okay. Command and Conquer, what they showed was better than if they just showed a trailer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, like this, I guess this probably would be EA's big thing. Like, I mean, it's at the end, so right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
But
so.
definitely their biggest IP.
I thought
years.
Battlefield 5 was gonna be like the big focus they had, but then it wasn't. So I guess this probably.
Yeah. It would be Anthem.
Yeah,
Anthem, yeah. Iron Man, the video game.
you're like an Iron Man. It's like
Two brothers.
you're.
So it started off like a trailer,
Yeah.
and at first I thought that was going to be it, and I'm like, well, that was even more fucking vague than last year. They showed, like, a lot of stuff last year for it.
Last year
But
they
no,
had
they-
the canned talking and all that.
Oh,
for the
God,
games.
yeah. We'll see that again later.
Yeah.
Talk about that shit.
Avery!
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? That we're blessed to live in a time where there's less of that than like there has been. You know, when it was first,
Yeah.
people
Still
were
too
like,
much.
now everybody has this and all that stuff. I think E3's getting better.
So yeah, they showed a trailer for Anthem, and then they brought out like a little panel of various people that work
Yeah.
on the game and talked about
See,
things.
This is weird, because they started the panel, I'm like, oh, this is like the GameStop or GameSpot or like whatever, IGN, whatever. I guess this is over now, so I'm like kind of tuned out for this.
No, it's definitely a good.
He's definitely
chunk.
just on the same stage.
Yeah. For sure, I know that now, but like at first, like I went back and I'm like, oh, people are like still watching. Okay, this is still going on. Whoop.
I think they gave some good details in
Yeah.
this. The thing that seemed most interesting to me, and again, like, I feel like we have to take this with a grain of salt a little bit because, like, BioWare had a huge flop last year or like the year before that with Mass Effect Andromeda.
Right.
I mean, who's to say if it's the same team working on this that worked on that, or if it'll, like, maybe they've learned and they're like, well, we're going to make a game that's good this time. But the thing that was, I mean, I was, if you listen to the E3 Puddles talk last year, I was interested in this then, and I still am, and I think one of the more interesting things is that, like, because this is one of those, like, it's always multiplayer games, right?
Mhm.
Like everyone's always
well,
around.
they'll have you believe that it's not.
Yeah, but like that's the interesting part to me, I think, is that they're like the story content and stuff seems like they talked about how it was like kind of weaved in with that experience so that it like never feels like there's like segmentation between the single player story stuff and then the multiplayer aspect, which I thought sounded like a tall promise, but like if they can pull it off, it sounds like it was cool.
My biggest
that was-
takeaway from the panel was they were trying awfully hard not to call it an MMO, despite describing features of an MMO.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
Right.
Everything they said, it was like, okay, that sounds like an MMO.
this game is
Is
massive.
it an MMO?
Multiplayer.
No,
It's online. Well, so it's an MMO? Oh, absolutely not.
They basically pulled the Patrick meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess like what I mean is I'm hoping we get to a time where like you can blend that kind of stuff in and it will feel fully realized as opposed to like just some tacked on bullshit. And like every time I see something that promises something that we've like not really seen, I always get hopeful that it will actually do that. But like so often games don't do that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's it's something to watch, but I think that's about
Definitely.
the biggest my biggest thing I'll give towards Anthem.
It still looks fun to play.
Yeah.
I feel like they also brought up no loot boxes or something like earlier in the conference, right? Because I feel like I remember them like waiting for applause for saying it, and no one did because like, no, you don't deserve like applause for like we're not gonna be shitty anymore. Just like
It was
you
Battlefront. Wasn't it Battlefront 2? There was a big problem with that shit in that game.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we're not doing that anymore.
Where they just apologizing.
Well,
for
they stopped. Battlefront 2 didn't have loot boxes like for the first month or two. Like they took them out of the game completely. But I think they've slowly been introducing them back in.
Someone from the crowd should like they're like no loot box. Someone in the crowd should just be like good.
Yeah, so they said Anthem would have no random loot boxes, but there definitely are cosmetic items that you can buy with real money.
Basically nothing that'll help give you an advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it looks
Which
like
is better.
there's a bunch of different suits and all that kind of shit too. So if people want that, then like,
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I will pay $20 for a skin if I know that's what I'm getting instead of hundreds of dollars.
You know they're gonna roll out like a shepherd suit or something from like Mass
absolutely.
Effect, and everyone's gonna buy that shit.
Definitely they will. So yeah, if you like Destiny, if you like Borderlands, looter shooters like that, and you want to be Iron Man, this looks like the game for you. Also, it's an
Alright.
MMO.
Yeah, it's totally.
It's an MMO.
And it comes out February 22nd. Is that this one or no?
I think there was a bunch of games that came out on some day in February, isn't there?
That's
Yeah,
gonna be a big.
February is so goddamn like the hot like month next
When's
year.
it? I feel like that happened because everyone was shooting for November, and they're like, "We're not gonna be done by November.
Yeah.
Give it a couple months."
When you
And then
can't get
everyone's like-
finished by holiday season 2018, you gotta shoot for Q1.
no one is gonna think to release a game in February. We'll be on our own," said every company, unbeknownst to them.
Pretty much.
So that was EA. It was EA.
It was yeah.
That's the best way to describe
It
it.
sure was.
If you like sports, have at 'em.
If you
Well-
like sports and you don't care, who knows?
I feel
I
like
don't know.
And
sports,
getting
commerce.
caught in pain. So the next up, we got Microsoft.
Strap in, boys.
50 games!
50
Microsoft showed off
games!
every video game ever made.
Yep, literally every game ever made.
Good thing nobody's ever played a video game.
So yeah,
Well, that's why this was a very informative conference for us all who've never played a game.
So just like last year, their big thing was, yep, we got a ton of games. So they had 50 games in total, 18 of which were Xbox One or PC exclusive, like Windows PC exclusive.
I know
and
a lot of
15
people.
brand new world premieres.
I know a lot of
That's
people were
pretty cool.
excited. Yeah, a lot of people were excited by this conference, and I was part of that. And I know there are a lot of decriers who are like, "Well, they just rapid fire showed a bunch of shit." But like, if you remember again, Microsoft's history in the
Yeah.
last
They've
couple
definitely
of
been
years
doing
at
better,
this
for
event,
sure.
it's been way better. Like,
Absolutely. They
them
really
just
have turned
showing
it
a bunch
around.
of random shit is so much better than the boring nothing that we used to get from them.
Exactly.
So I think we're gonna try to rapid fire through these. We're not gonna talk about all 50.
No, there wasn't much
Halo.
to say about a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. It was maybe just a couple of minutes at most for most of them.
But Halo is important.
Halo
Yeah.
Infinite was the first thing they showed. It was
Before
like,
they even said 50 games, yeah.
yeah, that was the opening of the conference.
I think this was the first next-gen game we saw at E3 this year.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get this one on Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think it'll come out on
They
Xbox
didn't
One.
say anything about it, but I think all they had for this was a trailer that even the trailer looked unfinished.
Yeah.
So I
there was
personally
no
don't think
mention of a release date.
we are not gonna see this anytime soon. And I think because Microsoft was the only conference to mention their next hardware coming out.
I think so.
They were at the end. They were like, "And hey, we're working on the next big thing. Here's a picture of its black corner."
Oh,
I
I
think
missed
Halo
that.
Infinite is going to be like a launch game for that instead
Yeah,
of
I can see it.
Okay.
I still think
I'll
it'll definitely still come out on the Xbox One.
probably because that's more like how
That's
stuff
just
is done
what
things
things
days.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think
Um,
it'll be on the new one too, and that'll be the big draw bringer. Yeah.
I think
So-
the big buzz around it is that might be open world.
Did they say that even? I feel
don't
like they
think-
really did.
I don't think they said it, but I think that's what a lot of people
I think
have been
the
assuming.
two theories I'm hearing or like the two things I'm hearing are people like maybe open world, probably a battle royale.
I
Probably-
don't know about that one.
That's what I've been hearing.
So
Could
they're,
be.
they're Breath of the Wilding.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe we think it's an open world just because they showed a big open world.
Yeah, they
game,
definitely
but,
showed
like-
the ring. It was like the world was. They were on one of the rings.
Yeah,
So yeah, it'll come out
it's
sometime.
coming out. That's
Xbox
cool.
5.
Xbox
Xbox 5.
72.
That'll be their next console. They go
It
from
wouldn't
one.
even be wrong.
They go from 1 to 5.
Well, unless the one is one the Xbox 4.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Xbox 3.5, so the next one will be 5.
No. Well, next one will be Xbox 2.8 Final Chapter.
Yeah, it'll be the 2.8, the final prequel.
It'll
Yeah.
be the new Xbox XL.
I honestly hope that they just take weird ass turns with all their naming. That would make me so happy.
It'll be the Xbox 5. It'll be the Game Boy. Okay, I'm done.
It'll be the Game Boy game where you fight aliens. Is that what you're gonna say?
Why do I
I mean,
always
Xbox
have a really,
3.14159266.
why do I always have a really dumb running joke that lives and dies in these Puddle talks?
Ori 2, baby.
Ari and the Will of Wisps.
That's
Get
coming
your
out.
Blind Let's Plays ready in 2019, baby.
Yeah. Once YouTube destroys the internet, we'll all record Ori and the Will of the Wisps for Pornhub, our new platform for
Nice.
Let's Play.
I think- Yeah, I could see it.
Okay.
I think because they showed that last year, so there was nothing.
Yeah. Did we know that was the name of it?
I
believe
think,
so.
yeah, we did.
Okay.
did.
I
Um,
guess it has.
I still like it.
It has an owl you can ride around on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a baby.
look cute.
I never finished the first one, so I just assume it has to do something with that in the first game because there was a bigger owl thing in the first
Okay.
game. Yeah,
It looked really like combat-y. Was that in Ori? Was Ori 1
just
like that
That's
too?
just usually how Ori is. That a lot
Okay.
of combat.
I didn't
Cool.
play that either.
Looks like it plays smooth, though, I will say.
Yeah, it did look good.
It's a very
That is-
fluid
it looked a
game.
lot like what I've seen footage of the first one looking like.
Yeah, they just enhanced some of the movements, mechanics, basically.
All right. So next up, we got one of the first of 3 From Software games.
And
be
also,
shown.
the first of 10 games set in feudal Japan, it seemed like.
Absolutely. So
Which
this-
was the zombie bear of this year, I think.
Definitely.
Game set in feudal
This
Japan.
is a big year for feudal Japan. Straw
Yeah.
hats are going to Wano,
You know what?
and
feudal
every game ever.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. 2019, feudal Japan's coming back, guys. Like Japan
Oh
is
my
going
God.
boring states again, baby.
Oh, you mean like IR, like in
Yeah,
real
the
life?
real
Yeah,
feudal
like
Japan is
actual
coming
feudal
back.
Japan.
Yeah, Japan
Oh.
goes
I
feudal
don't know if I like
2019.
I want to go
It's
to Japan that year.
Agreed. This
So yes,
is From Soft.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
It was interesting because last year we saw it was like a 10 to 30-second clip of this at
Oh.
Sony.
I didn't even remember.
Now we're seeing it here at Microsoft. So I guess it's multi-plat.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, Dark Souls and all that. I mean, Bloodborne.
I mean, Bloodborne
great,
wasn't.
but
That was
Dark Souls
that was
was
the
always
thing.
been, so
So,
I think.
so this is basically Samurai Souls, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a grappling hook.
I know a lot of people were saying like FromSoft made the Tenchu series, so this might be like a spiritual successor to that in some way.
I think this is
It
a
could
response to Nioh, which everyone called the Japanese Dark Souls,
For
and then they
sure.
were like, "Well, we'll
Could
make it
also
then."
be.
But I'm gonna say they also had like a feudal game.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
Could be.
People were
So
making
if you like Dark Souls, it's probably gonna feel a little bit like that, action.
Yeah.
I think
It,
it's
I'm
like this game
focused.
doesn't have like stats or anything compared to like Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
We didn't see any like menu UI, just gameplay. So we don't
And it
know
looked-
how similar or dissimilar it is to Souls.
it did look a lot more actiony than those games too.
For
Like
sure.
I know Bloodborne is like faster and more like that than Dark Souls, but this looked even more like that than Bloodborne.
Yep.
But it looked tight.
Well, let's see. A sneak peek at Fallout 76, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I guess I did talk about Game Pass more in depth later.
I don't know what Xbox Game Pass is.
It's
We'll
there,
fill you in later.
but yeah.
We'll tell
Cap-
you later.
Captain Spirit also, I guess we can say for Square, because that's their game.
Yeah,
too.
we'll save that for Square.
Okay.
Terry Crews video
Crackdown.
game.
Yeah, Harry
Crackdown
Crews.
3. Yeah.
This has been like this game was announced forever ago, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not imagining that.
It just got
It's definitely been a
delayed
few
also.
years.
It
Yeah,
ju-
okay.
Right before E3 they talk about how it's delayed now.
Okay.
Like
So,
delayed
but it's
to
still coming.
February 2019, but it's coming, baby.
2019 February.
Everywhere.
Near Automata.
Say about
Tomato.
I mean, I didn't either, but
Oh, yeah. Sorry to say one.
I guess yeah, we don't. Did anyone have anything to say about Crackdown 3?
Not really. It looked
Okay.
alright.
Yeah.
I'm not into Crackdown really. I've never really followed the series. The Terry
Yeah.
Crews, I like that he's attached to it just because I like Terry Crews, but like
Yeah,
that's
he's good.
basically
He
it.
seems like he's having fun.
I think you
I
could like
guess-
drive a car up a building or something in it, and that looked
Yeah,
kind of
This
cool.
was like a lot of ridiculous stuff in Crackdown.
Yeah, it's just like a silly goof kind of game, kind of. At least it's the 3, like this one seems like it.
Now, I don't think we need to talk about this at Square because, like, it's
Yeah.
Near Automata. The only announcement is that Xbox is getting Near Automata now.
I feel like there really wasn't anything to say about this.
But
Yep,
they
it's-
showed it again at Square, so people were like, "Oh, does that mean now we're getting a Switch version too?" No, that was just,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's still coming to Xbox, like we said." So
Microsoft a little bit sniped Square's presentation, I feel like.
Definitely sniped
Yeah.
a lot of presentation.
Which is, I mean, that's very on brand for the whole company, like, in general, like, trying to be the first to shit and then, like get it out there before other people. But I think Square's was the biggest suffering of this. But
We'll get to that.
I have no loyalty to any of these fucking, like, corporations, so I was fine with that, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
just show me whatever.
yeah, Near Automata Enhanced. Gonna have all the DLC, which I didn't even know there was any. So that's cool, I
It's
guess.
just, the whole game and all the DLC come with Xbox.
I've played like quite a few hours into Near Automata. Good game. I need to play more of it.
I'm not even the music of Nier. That's what always like interests me about it. But
I
the
need-
gameplay is not my stuff.
So if you're a Microsoft fanboy and you like looking at robot ass, check this
Now
out.
you can look at it. You can look at enhanced robot ass
Yeah, you
now,
can.
baby.
Just impossibly perfect cosplayers. Like,
Metro
does anyone-
Exodus.
Does anyone have anything to say about Metro Exodus?
I do. It looks
know.
cool.
Okay.
Look,
This.
I think I remember
like,
thinking the gun designs looked cool.
Yeah, I was gonna. Wrote down that same point. I think this gunplay, sound effects, and design, it looks really satisfying. It kind of reminded me of like how BioShock does guns, which is kind of like chunkier and like they sound good and they like look cool. And
I
and it showed like you hold it out in front of your face and you can like take parts off and stuff and all that. It's just among the weeds of every first-person shooter ever being shown every year at E3. I think this one looks more interesting than some of them.
They probably showed some shotgun gameplay.
There was a zombie.
I got a little hard.
There was a zombie shark in the trailer for this one. Metro Exodus was the first zombie bear game from last year. I know I bring that shit up, but
there were multiple last year, and that's just insane.
Yeah, but this one had a zombie shark, and I appreciated at least an aquatic.
So they've really jumped the zombie shark.
I think it looks solid. I haven't played any of the Metro games, and everyone says they're all really good, but this one also looks good.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 later. They showed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
This was the first one with the weird non-sound effects.
We'll get to that at Square.
Okay.
They were all
the Banjo-Kazooie expansion? No, just kidding.
We have to point out that while we were watching Microsoft, for some reason Odin's back, for no reason actually, convinced himself that this was the year they were going to show Banjo. Despite I don't think ever showing that kind of care or interest in Banjo ever. This year was just like, it's happening, boys. And so
Odin was ready to be taken.
We kept calling Banjo for the most ridiculous fucking games that we get first 5 seconds of almost every trailer. And it extended. It did not even go through Microsoft only. It extended way.
It was throughout the weekend
until they finally did show a literal Banjo at Sony, and then Banjo was.
We'll get to that. I think I brought it back in Nintendo to be.
Oh, okay, fair.
I don't remember what for, but
the thing is, not everything's gonna be on the Switch, guys. Not everything's about Nintendo, but also he's just like Banjo. I'll mean the crap on him. Actually, yes, I do.
Yeah, we can clown on him because he's not here.
I clown on him when he was.
He's streaming. Go rate him.
Maybe he's streaming when you're watching this.
By the time this video comes out, maybe he won't be streaming, and if he is, probably didn't stream.
Go to his channel anyway. Odin's back. So yeah, Sea of Thieves. There's a couple DLC packs coming out.
Whatever. It had the girl from Pirates 3 with the mascara. She was in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've seen.
She wasn't, but she was in it.
Yeah, not the first, not the only appearance of her.
Really? Was she in Kingdom Hearts 2? Was she in that trailer?
Yeah, she was briefly.
Oh, okay.
What I hear about Sea of Thieves is pretty empty, and maybe this expansion will help. I guess you can compare it to.
I hope so.
No Man's. People say No Man's Sky, once all the DLC and stuff is there, there's more to it. Granted, I think people also let it get away with the fact.
I have never even heard that about No Man's Sky.
I have. From what I hear, No Man's Sky today, with all the updates and patches, which I believe have all been free, have made the game a lot more complete.
Okay.
I don't think that excuses it, which I'm going to say that about Sea of Thieves as well. If it was not good at launch, that's a huge problem, but...
True.
I have every right to not like that about it.
I want Sea of Thieves to succeed because it's rare and they deserve to have a win lately.
I guess. There's no one at Rare who's good anymore. I feel like they're all gone.
That's fair. Back to Battlefield 5. They showed the story campaign trailer.
Maybe this one will be a spin-off where you fight aliens.
On a Game Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
And then we get to Forza Horizon Battle Royale.
The game that Slim loves. Slim woke up when he heard Forza Horizon 4. I don't really know why, but Slim loves this game.
It's funny because I don't even have a single Forza game. It's just I don't know. The games look fun. I don't know.
I am with you, Slim. They look fun to play. I would like to play a good racing game, but why would I spend money on a good racing?
Yeah, exactly.
Slim's gonna be the spokesmodel for the Forza series going forward.
You know, I
Never
actually,
owned a Microsoft console.
yeah, I had that one. I think a lot of people had this one. I got my 360. That was like Forza something and Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Mine came
Well-
with Kung Fu Panda.
Yo,
So, I
dang.
mean, you lucked out.
I definitely ignored Forza to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And god damn, what a mediocre game.
Wait, snack, because my Xbox 360 came with Combo Pack, Kung Fu Panda, and Lego Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one I have.
It was
Okay.
combo packed.
It just sounds like an order like Manchu Walk or something. Like I'll get the panda combo. I know.
I was
That's
just a
it
little
takes up-
worried.
I haven't thought about Manchu Walk in like years and fucking years. Thanks for bringing that back into my life.
I'm actually getting a little worried just because Sis said he got a combo pack, and the first part of it he mentioned was a DreamWorks
A
game.
DreamWorks film. I thought Forza Horizon 4 looked cool too. It was a game about cars becoming friends.
Yeah, that's my choice.
And it took place in the UK where I've been, and it looked a lot like some of the places that I've seen. It looked tight.
It looks super cool.
I don't know why it wasn't constantly raining all the time in
That's
the
a good point.
in
It
the
was not.
fucking
So
clips,
the big selling point is that it's an open world where you can drive around and the seasons change. I don't know
Yeah.
how often they change, if it's reflective to real life or
probably
if it's
not.
Or servers
Yeah, I
you
would-
can join. Or...
Yeah, you might be
Yeah.
able to choose which season you want it to be and like play
I
on
don't-
that
yeah,
server
they
kind
didn't
of
talk
possibly.
about that. They just said that there are seasons.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. Like here are the different changes. But the biggest sin of the game was that during fall it was not raining, or just during every season.
During
It was
any
raining.
season.
That's why I'm convinced that it's actually in Canada and not like.
Yeah, Pixel believes it's in Canada.
Yeah. Canada, what if the UK wasn't an island?
Yeah.
Is basically.
But it's cool because you can also communicate like via a in-game chat service, so you can talk.
You can hook up with other cars.
You could ask to play what
Fuck.
game modes. You could cyber with whatever girl or
Yeah.
guy pretending to
Cyber
be a
with
girl
another
that's
car.
there. So
You can be
You
like,
can live out.
hey,
You
baby.
can live out your
Mhm.
RP car fantasies.
You can bump exhaust pipes all day if you
You
want.
can go into the tunnel together, like
Yeah.
it'll be-
This is just a wholesome car game, guys.
Yeah.
it's wholesome.
It looks
But
fun.
It
I'll give
looks
it that.
It looks beautiful too. I feel like
Absolutely.
with watching these E3s every year, I feel like I've gotten a good idea of like because it's hard to tell these days, right? Like what games are beautiful and which ones aren't. And I feel like there were a couple this year that I was like, oh, this one actually looks fucking great, and this was one of the ones.
There
Mhm.
were a couple games this year where it was like, am I looking at real life?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how good graphics have gotten, which is crazy.
It scares me. I still bump into those big ass big TVs. It's like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in 2030 or something. Like it's not gonna be pretty.
Microsoft bought up a bunch of studios,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
so that's
It
cool.
seems-
They're
yeah.
getting a lot of people.
I
This
think
is kind of a weird
Microsoft was
part.
so here's the thing I've been seeing a couple people say that I've seen around that they didn't think Microsoft was going to stay in the console game. And just cuz of like how it's sort of just been like cool, like kind of tepid like as far as their presence in it has been with this generation, but at this they not only made it clear that they were by like talking about what their next iteration is going to be, but they were also like, and we picked up a shit ton of studios too. So it feels like they're trying to like jump back in, like they're trying to revitalize a little bit. Like that's the kind of vibe I got from this whole conference.
Revitalize.
That's honestly like kind of relevant to a game that would be.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. That's why I brought it up.
But I thought that
That'd be a
was
good
interesting
segue.
that they kind of made a point to do that.
It was a little weird. I don't know, but I do see why it's like intros. I remember Ninja Theory was one of them, which was like
Yeah.
the people that made DMC Devil May Cry, which not the most well received game, but I think it had decent gameplay. But people who hated that game, I mean, yeah, some people like it, and the people that don't like it, well, hey, stay tuned.
Yeah. I didn't recognize any of the other studios much other than Ninja Theory, but I've heard like Playground Games. I know I've heard
Definitely
they
smaller
did something.
studios.
Are they the Forza people?
Yes.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, they're finally just like, you know what? We just own you now.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much do, so it's like, might as well.
It was
They
just
keep
made
the
in
lights
writing.
on. I know, like, I'm sure a lot of people are, because, like, indie studios being picked up by that, it's, like, always like well, now they aren't be as creative, which I get that. But also, if anyone says they're selling out, well, fuck off. They need money.
Yeah. I feel like Microsoft...
I don't
yeah.
buy that, they can't be as creative. I think that's dumb. I don't think that's true at all.
For sure.
Because now they have the money to be as creative as they need to be or want to be.
I mean,
It's sort of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I will
for
say,
sure.
like, when you look at Rare, maybe it is like, we'll see. But,
Fair.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We Happy Few.
We Happy
Happy
Few got an announced date.
We Happy Few hasn't come out yet.
What is?
Yeah, that game has been in development for a very long time.
I think they did an open beta for it. I think
remember
We Happy
watching-
Few was playable a little while ago.
Yeah, I remember watching like pre-alpha gameplay on YouTube like 5 years ago.
Maybe that's what it was.
But and then there was definitely a beta later with more content.
I still think this game looks cool. I think it has a cool concept for sure.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
Yeah, it's got kind of a creepy, cool vibe to it. I think.
PUBG.
Happening.
Well, I mean, it's been on Xbox. Right?
Yeah,
What,
but like, there's not a
what did
sport.
they?
Like, so,
why
like, who
did they show?
cares?
Why did they show PUBG?
I think these are updates that have
Maps
been on
or
the PC
something?
version. That are
Is the game technically out yet? Is that...
No.
PUBG's
PUBG
never
and
coming.
Fortnite will never release.
They're out.
Yeah.
This is them out.
Yeah. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition.
Revitalize.
That's cool. Wasn't it like... I think it was out in English, but wasn't it only on, like, the 360 when it was in English?
It was on the 360, but
The English Tales of Vesperia is a 360 exclusive. Japan got a PlayStation 3 one that we didn't get. And this
also,
is that one?
Like, the PS3 version had, like, more content. From what I
Yeah.
understand.
yes,
it
that's
did.
what we're getting essentially.
Yeah. So now
Yeah, that was one
Xbox
of the
is
big
also getting
taglines,
that.
was more content.
We're basically, this is the English release of Tales of Vesperia Final Mix.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Essentially.
Wait, am I wrong or was Switch getting this?
Switch
Yeah.
is getting this. Yes,
That's cool.
Yeah, I think this is coming to everything.
Maybe I played this on the 360 way back in the day, and it was not my favorite Tales game. I thought the story was pretty boring, but maybe I'll pick it up again just because it's got some good aspects to it.
I like
It's
character design.
yeah,
I saw
it's
people
cute
saying
looking.
this. I saw people saying this a lot, that it is the last good Tales game. So if you buy into that, then there you go.
No, I liked Grace's. That was fun.
Graces.
it's got some merits to it. I'll say for sure.
But now, for a
not a-
game that has a
Oof.
lot of merits of
Not as many. Yeah.
Okay,
not as many
so
merits as this
we got our
fucking
first
game.
of 2 looks at the Division 2
The Division 2.
Should we save this? for Ubisoft.
Yeah, we got to save for Ubisoft.
Okay.
I thought they showed more of it here than they did at Ubisoft, honestly.
They did, but
I think it was a little bit of
don't-
both. I think it might have been 60-40, 60 at Microsoft percent.
Probably.
All right, we can save it.
Yeah, we can wait.
We'll save it for later. So they talked about Xbox Game Pass.
What is it?
From what I understand, it's like, you know what PlayStation Now is?
Yeah.
Then it's Microsoft's that.
Can you? Is it a computer thing? Is it on your TV? What?
Your Xbox has a
Like, I know what PlayStation Now is, but like, how do you acquire it? What is
So
it?
basically, it's like a pay service. It's like
It's
what
Netflix.
Nintendo might be doing. Yeah, it's like Netflix essentially.
So it
So I
does
have,
it
like, a
go
bunch-
through the internet? Is it like a site?
Yeah.
Is it like an application?
I think you just do it on your Xbox.
I will say, like, the big thing I'm hearing, like, in, like, as a point of contention for all these services, like, as cool as they are, like, if you want to play all the games, then that's a lot of services you just have to have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So yeah, you can do Xbox Game Pass. You can look online or on your Xbox and then install whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's like you still have to buy an Xbox One to use this.
Okay,
Well,
but
yeah.
like, there's no other way for you to get.
It's like you have to buy a
Xbox
TV
Game
to have
Pass.
Netflix.
There's no other way for you to get the Division 1.
Millions of ways to get the
Making
Division.
its triumphant return to E3 alongside its child, the Division 2. The Division 1 came back this year, guys.
That's a good
16
point.
years of the Division.
The Division 1 was at E3 2018.
Not bad.
And also, Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 4, I think they said were like launching with it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
on Xbox Game Pass.
Which are two more like contentious. Like I know at least
Two more
Fallout 4.
snipes.
It's like a what? Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
Elder Scrolls Online is awesome. Like, yeah, just such
Oh,
like
yeah.
polarizing
Those
game.
yeah, they picked
Oh.
some very like lukewarmly received titles to roll
Actually,
out
you know,
with
I
this
don't even
service.
think Division 1 was like lukewarm. I think people just hate the Division 1.
What was the figure for the drop in user base? Like 90% or
It
something.
Oh my god.
Huge.
I think
We,
Division
like,
1 came out like right at the same time as Destiny, which was an
Yeah.
infinitely better game.
Yeah.
Just a E3 classic though.
It did not live up to the hype that Aisha Tyler put it on.
Yep.
Absolutely.
She disappeared. It would have been cool if they had brought her out to be like, and the Division 1, guys. Basically, she lived and died with that game. She's not been at E3. Then there was
Okay.
a sizzle reel.
So we got a big ass montage.
There was a
Sizzle
Sizz, there was a
A
Sizz 16 reel.
Yep. I was in it.
Anything.
Check out my game, Ninja Warrior.
Check out Sizz's game, Cringe Wars.
Oof. Ninja Hero. That was the game I made.
Sizz made a game, you guys. Did you know
It's
that
not
in the
good.
chat? Did you know that in the comments?
The question of the day, it's not good.
He made a
Um,
game. Question of the day, it's not good. Homework of the day, go play Ninja Warrior. Sizz's
You
game.
can't.
You
How?
can't.
So yeah, a bunch of, I don't know, bunch of little indie games. Cringe Wars.
There's one game
Super Meat
that
Boy
was
Forever.
there's one game that was in
Harold
here that
Hall-
that I thought looked really cool, and it was Sable, which I know I talked to you guys. I know I talked to you guys a little bit about this, but it was kind of like, I don't know, it looks like it's got a cool little game where you're in like a desert. What, cool art style.
Just typing in Sable don't work.
It looked clean. I like the
Okay.
visual style.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of like that Adult Swim cooking game, the art style a little bit, but this looks way better than that.
Okay,
Like the
that
color.
nothing looks like that game looked. First of all,
I give you the color palette, like you know.
it almost looks like you're playing like a mature Western graphic novel or something, like
Oh,
fucking
it looks
Watchmen
interesting.
or something. It's got like, it looks like it's got a bit like a cool like not even
Game about deserts.
like cell shaded, but it's like the next level of cell shading. I feel like almost it's got like a cool filter on it.
Yeah, this
and
is
also-
definitely like a setting that you use when making 3D models. Like,
Yeah, but like it looks tight.
Okay.
They
I
also
think-
showed War Groove, I guess. Is that out?
Not yet.
it was-
It's still
Like the new Advanced Wars.
Super Meat Boy Forever. Have they shown that before or not?
We knew about that.
yeah.
It's like
I
it
had never
looks-
heard of it, but I
It's-
guess
It's an endless runner, Meat Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a cool one though.
I like
Yeah.
You know, that genre's like a little like maybe overdone. Or, you
There
know.
are good ones. There's for sure.
Yeah, for
quality
sure.
endless runners.
And
And this one will probably be quality just because Meat
Well,
Boy is like innately
yeah.
fun to play.
teammates are good. Harold Halibut. I don't know anything about it. I know it's called Harold Halibut.
Don't know what
I
this
just-
is, but
I
you
just like
guys
how
were
it
like, "Hey,
sounds.
I think it's like
this is what
Dylan's
it's
Dead
called.
Heat Breakers. It's but no one knows what that is either. So but
I just want
That's
to try
it.
halibut, damn it.
I do too.
Dylan's Rad fucking Riders.
Dylan's dead ass dick lickers."
Just imagine.
All right, that's the end of the
all right, that's the end of the montage.
But like, I can just imagine three fuddy-duddies just being like, "I'll have the Harold
Oh,
halibut."
how the poached halibut.
At 5 p.m. when they're eating dinner.
I'll have the
And make it
poached
ex-
halibut.
And please make it extra,
Extra
poached.
poached. Reference only me and Pixel will get.
So again, with the Square Enix sniping, they showed some Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
The Crone edition. Calling it the Croft edition is so fucking funny, by the way.
and then they showed the skateboarding classic that everyone's been waiting for.
Session.
Tokyo Mirage Session.
Game will never end.
I think it
It's not in this game.
You're gonna run it like a cyclone.
A lot of people want Skate 4, and I thought it was just my dumbass friends that wanted Skate 4. Guess not.
Guess
I
not.
remember,
People like
I
that.
remember Skate 1 coming out to like high praise, and I didn't even know there was a Skate 4. Like I think I knew about Skate 2.
A lot of my high school friends are really into skateboarding, and they love the skate game. So I was like, yeah, of course these guys want Skate 4. Who else is asking for that? When I go online, I'm like, oh, everyone.
I guess a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Skateboarding games have always looked fun to me. I've never really gotten into any of them, but I feel like I could.
It's like me. It's like me and Forza.
Yeah.
Session, was this supposed to be like an open world skateboarding game?
We
Like a skateboarding battle?
saw very little
battle
of it.
royale?
Battle Royale.
I think they just showed it like a quick trailer. I don't.
I mean, Skate also looks like Skate. When I watch my friends play, it also looks like an open world skating game. So.
Okay, maybe that's what people... I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of showed a guy skating. Also, if there ever is a skate battle royale game, I really want it to be called Skate Battle and Roll.
I think it was around this part of the presentation where they announced like everything else that they were going to show was brand new.
I think
I think around this
That's
point.
probably true. That sounds right.
And it was toward the end. I don't remember exactly when they said it, but they did have a bunch of games at the end that were like world reveals. So that was pretty cool, I guess.
For this next game, there was one really funny comment that someone made where it was like about a witch or something, right? This did not look engrossing to me at all. It looked really like whatever, what the fuck, who cares?
The game is Black Desert, by the way.
Black Desert, but it had like a witch lady talking, and someone was like, man, I'm really glad they decided to bring Witchy World back for this game, because we were so on the banjo thing. Oh, I can't believe they decided to bring Witchy World back for this.
I think so. This is an MMO, and I think this was maybe on PC, and now it's going to be on.
Oof, I don't know. This one, I really got sucked out during this set portion because this was a pretty long like trailer. I felt
It's a Korean MMO, and so I think
okay.
it's being ported to consoles,
I like
or
Korean
maybe
MMO.
just to the West for the first time. I don't for sure know.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Korean.
Next was pretty big. The first of a couple big Capcom showings.
Yeah.
Devil May
The
Cry
big-
5.
Part 1 of the Capcom Redeemer. Well, actually, Part 1 would be Mega Man 11. If it comes out, it doesn't get canceled, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I've never played a Devil May Cry 5 game. Or no one has.
As it pronounces.
No one has Sis. I've also never played Devil May Cry.
Looks interesting, and it kind of made me want to check it out.
Can you get the Devil May Cries in a collection?
Here's the thing: you absolutely can.
Are
If
they
you
on
own a PS4,
though?
you can get Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4 for like 40 some bucks.
Oh my god, and
All
you
in
mean to
one
tell me there's a collection of classic PS2 games on PS4? What the
Absolutely.
fuck? What is this world coming
It
to?
wasn't only on PS3, and then they're just like, okay,
No.
well, yeah, it's only backwards compatible, or not backwards
It's
compatible.
like 4 also comes with like all the DLC. Like it's a good deal
I
from
might,
what I could gather.
I might pick that up not
I
because
also-
of Devil May Cry 5 really, but because you just made me aware of that existing.
It looks pretty cool. The song
It
was
does.
pretty kick-ass.
The guy, it's like at first I thought it was a DMC like Devil May Cry 2, but I guess it's not, and I just don't like recognize the characters. But the guy,
Exactly.
the one I think his name is like Nero or something. He has like a robot hand, and he can like shoot his robot hand off and like ride it around like a surfboard. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of different arms you can equip. Arms, by the way.
Arms.
Like I can't believe I'm doing this. Like another Capcom game with where you can shoot your robot hand off.
Yeah.
Where you used to fight aliens.
Is it for the Game Boy where you fight aliens?
Also, yeah, this looks. I remember seeing like a tweet that was like, "Look at all these people that have never played a Devil May Cry game thinking this is a Dante," and I'm like, "Come on, like you kind of can't blame people."
Yeah.
Like,
how are you gonna be like that?
I thought the same thing. I mean, whatever.
It had like a catchy anime kind of song.
Yeah, I've listened to the song a couple times. It's really good.
Pretty cool.
Also, Dante
cool.
does show at the end. He's like weird looking though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's Dante. I don't know.
There were some good jokes made
Slim or
about
Pixel played any
Dante.
of DMC games? Probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pixel's a really hardcore Devil May Cry fan.
Yeah, totally.
As he
Really?
wakes up.
I
Alright,
know.
we'll speed it up.
I'm beginning to think maybe there wasn't anything wrong with how he looked at NBC Infinite. Maybe he's just on meth now.
Yeah, maybe he's just gross.
We'll get you
Cuphead?
out,
So, Cuphead,
DLC.
the
Show of
Delicious
hands.
Last Course
Show of
DLC.
hands. Yeah. Who hadn't figured that out yet?
I didn't.
Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. I forgot.
I didn't
about
get
that,
it. I
but
didn't
now-
get it at the show, but I did see it online on Twitter after.
Okay.
I was watching the brain scratch version of this essentially, and had mentioned that, and Johnny was like, "Oh my God, you're right," basically, and it really made me laugh. But yeah, that's cool.
It has like Goblet Girl or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Goblet
cute.
Girl.
Yeah, what is her name? I'm
I
trying to look it
don't
up.
know.
She's
Yeah.
Goblet, but she is adorable. I love her.
She is my liquid containing bit. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, never mind. Don't forget that joke. She's Bay though, for real though.
Yeah, she is adorable. Cuphead looks awesome. I love the aesthetic.
Looks
I haven't
cool.
played it.
Me neither, but it looks really rad. Oh, I want to try.
I tried to play Cuphead, but I couldn't get past the tutorial. It was too hard.
Nice.
so-
You'd be good at reviewing games.
Time, bro.
Lol. Have you ever heard of that?
Miss
Anyway.
Chalice.
The next Miss
That's her name.
Chalice. Okay.
She is adorable. We got Tunic, which is
It's-
a cute little isometric kind of Zelda game.
It's Fox Zelda.
Fox Zelda.
Yeah.
I remember
Tunic-
seeing.
Yeah.
We watched I guess it was like behind the scenes footage of this game in a game design class I took a few years ago.
Huh.
Oh,
Sid's got that Tunic
So
first
I've
look.
heard of this game before, and it's one dude. It's one guy makes this.
I believe
oh wow.
Good old Andrew Shoulders.
It looks super cute.
it. It looks cute. It looks tight. I saw some people who were at E3 who like talked about games they played, and this was pretty highly praised actually among
Yeah.
the stuff I watched. So I'm looking at it.
Alright.
If it
Breath of the
wasn't,
Wild.
if it wasn't just on Steam, I would get it. If it was on another console.
I could see a Switch release later.
Yeah.
This next game was a President Trump made a tweet a couple days ago about how he's gonna start having all of the armed forces work on their upper leg and thigh muscles.
Yeah.
Jump Force.
Jump Force. Anime's back, baby.
Jump Force! It's
I
another
remember-
battle arena game!
Yeah, I remember looking at the intro shots. I'm like, all right, what do we got? Then I saw Frieza's spaceship, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. So this trailer was it was pretty cool.
I thought it was fucking cool too. I was into
Like,
it.
At first, it was kind of like, all right, what the hell? There was some narration bullshit, and you see, I guess they're the mountains from Naruto, but who
Yeah, it
watches
was-
Naruto?
It was the Mount Rushmore of ninjas from Naruto.
Yeah. And then then you see the Sunny from One Piece, and it's
Yeah.
kind of wrecked, and you're like, I'm ready to
Yeah.
kill.
Sis and I thought this was One Piece World Seeker, but then
And then you see, then it was Frieza's ship.
then it was Frieza's spaceship. and we were like,
And then it was
oh,
kinda
what
like,
the
oh.
fuck is this?
And then so it's a J-Stars game.
Yeah,
Arena
Big
Fighters.
franchises of
Womp
Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
and they showed Light from Death Note, but he's not playable
He's
in
not
the game.
playable, I guess.
Oh.
They
And
actually
I think-
also had Zoro and Sasuke were
Yes.
in the E3 build for this game, but we're not
Yes.
in the trailer.
So it's an arena fighter, which is it is what it is.
Hopefully, not that into that. Hopefully this will be better than J Victory versus...
What I've heard is it is much better from the people that played even just this build at E3. That it feels a lot more fun, and like, I mean, yeah, the graphical style looks a little janky. I
I
think
have
a little
wavered
bit.
back and forth on the graphics.
Yeah.
They look interesting, and then I get a closer look, and I'm like, oh god, like Goku's hair is just plastic. They all look plastic.
Interesting that like it's all the stages are like based on real world locations.
That is.
I think
interesting.
that's what's cool about it to me. Everyone got the same vibe, but them in like New York fighting Frieza is such a fucking like Avengers vibe, and like that got me like salivating for this. And then there was like, oh, and it's a battle arena game, and I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, there was a part. You can go.
No, you go.
Okay, there was a part where Luffy was on the American flag, and that was just the best thing I've ever
Amazing.
seen.
A lot of 4Kids America, like the national anthem jokes are made about that. I know.
I did see a shit post about that.
I saw a lot of that. I was gonna say, I think it's kind of a shame because like it would be cool like if this game was good. Like one of the cool things about like it was kind of like anime Smash Bros. Obviously it didn't play as good, but like you had all those characters and stages. But
Yeah.
now it's just like real world. So like I kind of like maybe I wanted to play on Namek or at the Dark Tournament or
I mean,
at the One Piece Laboratory or whatever. But the famous one. The classic arc from One Piece, but
Tara knows all these places.
like,
So yeah.
But I mean, I feel like even if it's like solidly better than J-Star's Victory Versus, I might still get it because it's cool. It's just I like that. There are good anime arena brawlers. The Naruto ones for last gen were all good.
yeah,
So maybe it
Burning
can
Blood
maybe
was
it can happen.
fun.
The Naruto people also made the Tenkaichi games, right?
I don't know. Maybe
They're generally fine.
we like anime. We
do.
like anime.
But yeah, like, despite my, like, it kind of sucks you don't get to play those plays anymore. Like you said, fucking, oh man, we have Goku and Vegeta fighting Frieza in New York. Awesome.
That's just cool. It's a cool idea.
Awesome.
Okay. We got a big long look at Dying Light 2, which is Mirror's Edge plus zombies.
I was not
That's
into this.
that's the theme.
I know a lot of people were, but I was not one of them.
I remember thinking Dying Light 1 looked pretty cool. Never played it.
I didn't know about Dying Light 1.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
the
definitely an
light
Xbox game.
died. Like
The light. Yeah, how could the light die again?
Damn it,
honestly?
Emo. That's a joke for Snack.
It has a morality system, guys.
Yeah, so they brought
the
this guy
choices
out.
you make impact the gameplay in
Yeah,
2018.
They really were stressing this, which is a thing that every company who has a
Yeah.
morality system
This-
has said.
This is E3 buzzwords 101. Like there should be if
bingo
E3 was a
chart.
bingo sheet, this would be
Yep.
the free space, I feel like.
I think at this point the Division would be the free space.
Well, yeah, of course. Division.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's got a parkour kind of movement system, and at nighttime there are zombies,
Yeah, I thought that was the lamest part of the trailer.
which they
too.
didn't
It
show
was-
anything of.
It was the very end. They were like, and at night, and I was like, oh, and then they were like, zombies, man! Like,
Odin?
what a fucking hook. The game with a morality system also has zombies.
Yeah.
Really breaking new
That's
ground.
some telltale shit I've ever seen.
It's literally already a game like that.
So we'll see if the
We'll
morality
see.
system extends to little more than good
Yeah.
path, be bad path.
Yep.
I
I've been waiting for that
doubt
for
that it
5
will.
years, I feel like, and it's not yet happened, but maybe this is the one.
Next up was something that came out of nowhere.
So weird.
Was Battletoads.
They didn't.
What?
Why show a? Like, I know people like Battletoads. Like, it's something you remember. It's in like the gaming like lexicon, like the zeitgeist of video
Definitely.
games.
Yeah.
But why show no footage? It's like it seems like they thought this was a bigger deal than it was. They were like Battletoads, but they didn't show they didn't show anything.
Yeah, there
It
was like a
just
little
Battletoads
animation
JPEG.
of the scooter crashing into the
Yeah.
wall, and then there was like a big punch fist, and then the Battletoads logo.
I just feel like no one was clamoring for another Battletoads. It's cool that this exists. I know it's supposed to be like a full like 2D art style, which is cool.
Yeah, they said
But,
it was
like-
all like hand drawn.
Yeah, but they didn't need to rush this out to show it to us.
Yeah.
They don't have any
definitely-
gameplay footage or anything for it yet. Like,
Yeah, I could definitely see this being a 2020 game.
yeah.
And
And also,
the thing I'm
sorry. go
most
ahead.
excited for is the music, because Battletoads has a kick-ass soundtrack.
They did not show the logo for Rare anywhere on this.
No, they didn't show any logos.
Which, that's a thing though, sis, because you know why the music of Battletoads is so good? David Wise. So
Yeah,
we'll
they
see.
showed. We have no idea who's making this game.
Yeah.
Like with no screenshots, no gameplay, no release date.
We don't know anything
We
about
know next to nothing.
That being said, I do agree Battletoads is rad music, and then they're like, and we got David Wise on this project, and I'm like, oh, cool, I can't
it.
wait
That
to
would be
hear.
tight.
Yeah, they played like a little snippet of like one of the songs.
It's like the
Is-
classic
And that kind of got me hyped. I was like, oh shit.
Question of the day, is Battletoads a good game? What do you guys think?
It's definitely a
No
video
comments.
game. It's definitely a video game.
Rip to every GameStop employee who now
Yeah.
has to actually say,
Yes, we have
we do have Battletoads.
How funny would
Is
it
this
be if
like
it
a
comes
bit?
out? Funny would it be if it came out and it was digital only? So like they
Awesome.
protected GameStop.
I mean, I feel like that might just make things worse. I don't know.
It's gonna be bad either way.
Yeah, because I mean, people are gonna remember that like the joke of "Do you have Battletoads?" again, and it'll just keep happening.
Um,
But off topic, I just looked at my TV. Apparently, Toonami's gonna have Pop Magic now. That's kind of neat.
I saw that. Yeah. Anyway, we talked about anime earlier, Terrence.
You're right. That should have.
Nothing is less topical than that.
So they showed a little bit of Just Cause 4. Again, sniping shit from Square Enix.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, we got something interesting to talk about. That.
Here we go. For shit no one ever wanted for 1,000. Gears of War Funko Pop.
Gears of
The Gear-
Funk.
The Gears of War Funko Pop experience.
So like,
A mobile game. Gears of War Funko.
I didn't even think it was a game at first. I was like, oh, I guess they're just doing Gears Funko Pops. Like,
how do you open the Gears segment with this?
I think it was intentional. I think it was a joke almost. I mean, it's happening.
It's a very real, not.
It's a
joke,
very
it's
real. It's a very
thing.
real joke.
I feel
I think
like
the point
maybe-
was to make people like, "What the fuck," and then to show the real Gears 5.
Yeah,
to
'cause I think
kinda
a lot
hype
of-
it up.
A lot of people had been making assumptions that we'll see something Gears this year.
Yeah,
So then I think they were trying to be like, oh, you thought it was just going to be this.
I thought it was funny,
Mhm.
but only in hindsight, knowing that we were gonna get 2 more Gears games.
So I
That's
guess
fair.
my assumption is they're going to try to they're gonna try to brand Funko games like they did Lego.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna start seeing a bunch of other Funko adaptations.
I
mean,
would say that's pretty fair assumption.
That Funko Mega Man game Owen showed us the other day was pretty good.
That wasn't like a real game. That was like a screenshot.
Okay, but
Did they have gameplay for Gears Pop?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that
All
I've
we
seen.
know, all we know is it's gonna be a mobile game.
All we know it's a mobile game. So then they showed us Gears Tactics, exclusive for PC.
Yeah.
I think maybe they could have like showed this first and then like have the Funko thing. And
I
then,
thought it was funnier that it opened with Funko.
I did too.
I get it, but I don't know. It feels like they were like, I don't know. Maybe I think it would have been like maybe. I get why it's funny, but
They also had something to actually say about this game. Like,
Yeah,
there's
so
a
this-
good thing
this
about
is like
Funko.
the perfect marriage. I don't know why it hasn't been done sooner.
Yeah.
Gears and Tactics, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
because when I
said
think
this,
of Gears of War, I think about crouching behind just
waist
high
high
walls,
Yeah.
which is XCOM.
Yep. It
So
seems like
I think this is an awesome marriage.
anyone was like, "Oh, XCOM,
Duh.
that could just be Gears of War." Now.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, make that." And it looks tight. I'm
Yep,
excited
we
for it.
showed there was a little bit of gameplay for this, so we've seen some. It sure looks like XCOM, but with Gears.
Gears is a cool universe.
Okay.
And then they also made the fifth one. It's one
yeah,
on the
Gears
Game
5.
Boy where you can fight aliens. Well, you fight aliens anyway in Gears of War. I mean, technically they're like mole men. I think they're aliens. I can't remember.
Locusts. I
They
don't
probably
know.
came from space.
I haven't played a Gears game. We should have had Odin on. Oh well.
I played all the original trilogy of Gears of War,
but
and I loved them, and I didn't play the fourth one, so I have no context for what was happening here. But it looks like you can play as the girl
So,
who
yeah, it
was
looks like-
introduced in Gears 4, I guess,
Yeah,
so that's
there's a
tight.
girl. There's a rebel girl, and you know she's a rebel because she has highlights in her hair.
Yeah, she had a red streak in her hair.
And I think
Marcus
there's
was in it.
there's a black guy, and I
Yeah.
think you go on an adventure.
Go on a quest.
Just the two of them. So I guess it's co-op, maybe?
Well, they're all co-op. It's Gears.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Hmm.
So we got a nice little extended look. There was, we saw there was some gameplay, a lot of cinematics.
Yeah, I mean,
Gears
they
5.
check. It's another box checked for Microsoft, that's one of their main big IPs, and they showed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then they showed another game.
And then we got briefly at the end was Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So this is CD Projekt Red is the name of the team.
Yeah.
So I now know why people care because it's like the Witcher people, right?
Yeah.
At
Okay.
first I'm just like, what is
Yeah, I didn't know why. I
this?
didn't know why people. cared.
This had been rumored and hyped up before E3 too. So like for a lot of
Okay.
people, it was a big deal that they
Yeah.
showed it. And I think this was actually maybe one of the only big surprises at E3 at all this year. Like it felt like very few conferences had a
Like, you
and
think-
one more thing kind of thing, and like Microsoft's one of the only ones that had that.
Yeah.
I guess
No,
Bethesda
had
did
that
too. Yeah, but this was, and it was done in a cool way. Like the conference got like hacked right at the very end,
Yeah,
and then
had
it
a
showed
full
the game.
presentation.
It was presented very well, I thought.
Yeah.
And it was an exciting moment, especially I'm sure for people who were already hoping that they would show this game at the event.
I don't think they showed any gameplay. It was just some cinematics,
Well, I think that's true.
and they also didn't give a release window, so 2020.
It looks cool though. It looks like a cyberpunk game
Yeah,
Everyone-
you're in-
everyone-
with all
everyone-
the makings of a good cyberpunk setting.
Everyone talked about how
Cyber and
cool the car looks.
The car looks tight.
Yeah.
It had like the back tail lights were there were like 3 tiers of them, and it was like like when it came on.
All right.
I think this will
So-
maybe also even be next gen. I think this might be another one of the
I can
ones
see
that
it
we won't see for a little bit.
for the Xbox 358 over 2 days.
Yeah, the Xbox 2077.
So that was it for Microsoft. A lot of games.
They showed a lot of games.
Cool.
They sniped some people, but I think they showed enough cool stuff of their own merit to like be good.
For sure. Nothing that makes me want to get an Xbox, but
Yeah, no,
Things- there were things that made me want to get an Xbox, and I'm never going to get an Xbox One. But you know what's cool is when the Xbox One's like $200 in like 3 years, these games will all still be there, and maybe I'll get them then.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm
What were you
looking
gonna
at
say,
it right now. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now too. Is like, you know, every year when I watch like these other conferences, because I'm, you know, mostly a Nintendo guy to begin with, but when I look at other consoles, it's like I'm trying to look for a reason for me to get the system.
Yeah.
That's what I try to
that's
look
a good
for.
way. That's a good way to look at things.
That's what I mean. For me, it's more just like I just want to see a bunch of exciting, cool stuff. And if it's not exclusive to Xbox, great. That means maybe I'll get a better chance to play it. But I can see that mindset of like wanting to base whether like how successful it was on whether or not they sold their own, you know, products.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically at this time, like I don't really have, you know, a lot of money where I can afford like other consoles
Fair.
just like that.
Yeah.
But seeing like that's like what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing a lot of games for Xbox. That's good. If I was making money, then yeah, I might actually consider it with what they showed. But since it's not, it's just like, oh, I'm not really thinking about it. But like you said, if it does go down in price, then in the future, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, any human being will make enough money to justify buying an Xbox One. You know.
Or any console.
Maybe we'll finally live in a post-scarcity world where Xbox Ones rain from the sky. You never know.
Yeah, if you're gonna have
we'll have to spend all our money on reinforced steel roofs to protect ourselves from the reckoning. But
lots of hospital and funeral bills after that happens. But like, you know.
we'll have to buy, you know, shit to protect us from Frieza attacking New York, but
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just not gonna work out good for anybody.
yeah. If you're gonna own a console, it should either be a Switch or a PS4, both if you can.
yeah,
I think that's where you're gonna get
or
90% of the good games.
If you really want the most bang for your buck, get a gaming PC, where almost all these AAA games do also get
but
released.
like,
on.
who has time for that?
Exactly.
Who wants to sit at a computer?
And that's
Exactly.
That's the thing with Xbox, though, is like so many of their games are also going to be on PC more than likely, so it's
Right,
just,
yeah.
it's harder
A lot of
to
the things.
justify the Xbox purchase.
Mm.
Also, to go back to what Sis said, if Frieza goes to New York, we're not going to need money. I'm thinking when that happens, I'm just like, all right, all bets are off. Just take what you want. Time to start looting. This is the end.
I think I would
Alright.
just run in front of Frieza to get it all over with.
Anime.
You know what? I'd punch him just to be like, I did that before I went out. How cool
Yeah,
is that?
that would be sweet.
I mean, I get it over with anyway. I don't have to worry about the enslavement or the planet destruction. I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that punched Frieza.
I punched Frieza and died. What about it?
All right. So let's move on to Bethesda.
Okay.
How was that a topical thing for a Microsoft conference? By the way? Well, they had fires last year. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft just wants to show a lot of games, so like I think that's why they have such variety.
They're just like anime now.
Maybe
Bethesda.
maybe they're just slowly becoming an anime.
So Bethesda had an interesting start.
It was a one very low and then a high. I think
This
it was
one
like
definitely built up a lot, I think.
yeah, it was like a sine
so
wave.
It had a lot of ups and downs. There were some genuinely hilarious moments, I thought.
One,
Yeah,
one
funniest
thing-
other than Devolver Digital, funniest press conference I
Definitely.
think probably.
I
Pete
think there's
Hines.
a lot of like funny humor here, like
Yeah.
good showing.
Yeah, Pete Hines coming out and throwing shade at Walmart Canada for leaking
That
Rage
was
2
funny.
is one of the highlights of E3. I think.
This was actually weirdly topical on Rage 2 because one of the things at E3 this year that made me rage the most was how little people knew who Andrew WK was. Like, I've even seen some YouTube videos where people were like, "It's weird that they brought this guy out." I'm like, "That's Andrew WK. How do you guys not know this?" Like,
I don't know who Andrew WK is.
Oh my god.
Who's Andrew WK?
Just a guy that likes to party.
Yeah, I got that.
He makes all these songs, and like 90% of them are about partying.
He's just a positive, cool guy, I think.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of him.
Andrew WK came out and performed "Let's Get Ready to Die." Right? Or "Who's Ready to Die?"
I'm ready.
Right?
The picture of Nino. I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of this tweet I saw. I think it was from the author of Questionable Content, who just made a tweet. It was like Andrew WK looking exhausted in the mirror. What if I only partied a little?
Yeah, him performing this kick-ass rock song, and then there were cuts to people in the audience with just blank dead faces. And just
I saw a lot of tweets also that were like, "These people are getting a free Andrew WK conference and don't care."
It's like the time, like I tweeted about this. I remember the time, like quite a few years back, I was watching a video from the VMAs. It was like the Foo Fighters with Serge Tankian on vocals performing "Holiday in Cambodia" by the Dead Kennedys, and there's just these teenagers in the front of the crowd just texting on their phones, bored out of their minds. I'm like, I hate all of you.
People who get to be at things don't deserve that.
Like, it's also like how I think there's like the Megas did like a thing at E3 once, and the crowd was like fucking just not into it. I'm like, had it been now, where I've gone to 3 MagFest and not a single one was like one of the millions they were at. Yeah. Oof.
I didn't know the Megas were ever at E3.
Rage.
Rage 2. Rage 1 Rage 1 came out
That was a while ago.
I
think it was like last gen. Like last gen.
It definitely was last. Oof.
I didn't even know about it. My friend who played it said it was like kind of too short for like his liking. Like
the first Rage seemed like a response to Borderlands to me.
The first Rage came out in 2011.
Yeah.
So it's been a number of years.
Yeah. This was not a franchise I ever was interested in or cared to see come back, honestly.
I remember watching a little bit of a Let's Play of it, and it was very like Borderlands, Fallout, Wasteland kind of.
Yeah.
You go on quests, you kind of drive around, you get guns.
Very like contemporary game. Like,
and
very like
Rage
of its time.
2 looks nothing like what I remember seeing of Rage 1.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't like there's like color splashes, like the colors change, and there's like superpowers.
Rage 2 color splash, baby.
So I don't know. It's just like it had a complete overhaul, just change.
All right.
I don't know. It did look interesting to me.
I see Pixel wrote in the notes here, spring 2019. I'm only assuming that's late February.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, February's the only month of 2019, so...
Yeah.
That's what they did with Majora's Mask 3D. They're like, it's coming in spring, and then they're like, it's coming in February with the new 3DS.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a thing. I remember that.
So I don't know. It's a thing.
I
probably won't be picking it up.
This wasn't a very interesting looking game for me.
This is the kind of game that I feel like would appeal to me the most, and it just
for sure.
Of the 5 of us here,
I guess it is. I mean, it was not bad. It was definitely well received the first one when it came out. Like people did like it. So I guess Bethesda was.
Small.
I guess
get a lot of reception.
I guess they thought. I remember seeing it around a lot, but I guess it was not like a huge game, but it was definitely something that I was aware of.
I think it was swept under the rug but whatever. Rage 2. Let's get ready. Yeah, we were
Rage Problem 2.
Slim was not at the stream when the Bethesda conference happened. He was streaming.
The one
That was-
conference where we needed him most.
So yeah, that was the prevailing comment, was where is Slim when we need him for raid?
Let's see. I think that was the first night of the Ocarina of Time randomizer when I did that. So
It was Sunday.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
ill-fated then anyway.
There was a couple Elder Scrolls things. The Elder Scrolls cards.
Pixel's notes are so wholesome. For the Elder Scrolls Online, he puts, "I like writing those animals, Spider Boy."
Yeah, we're all looking at Pixel's notes
Uh,
for this.
Pixel's notes are so good for this. Just the whole page of them is just so cute and wholesome.
Very, very easy to access. True to style. So yeah, cards, and then there's Elder Scrolls Online new expansions. I guess a lot of people like to play that. I don't know.
The Argonians. That's what the reptilian race is called in Elder Scrolls. The
Oh,
Argonians.
What?
right.
That's not
That's
on
what
here,
it
but I
shot
just
to
remembered
see.
that. I just remembered that now, you guys.
did you know the king of Skyrim or whatever in Elder Scrolls? It would, like, I saw him blink one time and he had like an Argonian looking eye. I don't know, guys.
Is this a bit? What is this even a reference to?
It's a reference to real life reptilian conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay.
He had, like,
Well, I mean, in the Elder Scrolls, there's no conceit. The reptilians are just real. They're just a race of people that live like the real world, but like they live out in the open in the Elder Scrolls.
This joke would have gone over a lot better if I knew anything about Elder Scrolls, guys.
I like that you called it the King of Skyrim.
I mean,
that
Skyrim-
probably is a thing in Skyrim.
Skyrim is a place in the Elder Scrolls world. I do
Yeah.
know that much.
Yeah, Skyrim is a region.
There was in the beginning of Skyrim. There's like a castle or something that you're.
If it had it,
The King of Skyrim
Yeah.
might live there.
if it had anything, I would imagine a king. It just seems like a place that have a king.
King
The king
Sky.
was
Anyway.
Do we have anything to say about these Elder Scrolls games?
Absolutely
We
not.
need Odin here. All right.
Pixel said all that you
So-
need to, or he talked about loving how you can ride all those animals.
I think, actually, oddly enough, Beck played ESO for a while, but she's not here either.
From what I understand was that Elder Scrolls Online had a very rough launch, but has gotten better.
Modern day
unfortunately.
MMO game. It did have a rough launch.
Yeah, that's fair. So we got a brief look at Doom Eternal, and by brief look, I mean we saw
That's very,
next to nothing.
it shows
There was,
that
there
Earth,
was a little
It's about-
trailer.
it's on Earth this time instead of Mars or whatever.
Which actually was the case with the original Doom 2 also.
Yeah. I think I knew that.
I'm glad they're calling it Doom Eternal and not Doom 2.
Doom 2.
So we don't have to say, like, Doom 2, 1990, whatever year that game came out.
We don't have to
Yeah.
say New Doom 2 now.
Yeah.
Or Doom 2, 20 something. We'll see.
Yeah, the couple guys came out. They talked about it. They were like, "Yeah, we listen to people. You know, you want the guns to be better. They are. You want more demons. There's twice as many as the last one."
Did
Yeah.
Pixel's notes his first note on Doom Eternal says looked scary.
I still have yet to play the original Doom. No, Doom,
No.
Doom
20
20 whatever.
17.
I've never played
New
the
Doom.
original Doom.
Oh, the first Doom? Or
I've played Doom 93. I have not
Yeah.
played Doom 2016.
2016.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should play
but I
Doom
should because it looks
I-
cool.
I remember I was talking about how much I wanted to play Doom 2016. I think in the last E3 discussion
too.
where it got revealed for Switch, and I still haven't played it yet. So
They-
someday, looks
2016.
good.
Maybe tomorrow.
So we got Quake Champions.
Quake Dads and Quake Babies.
What even is
I
this
don't know what that
about,
means.
Pixel? What's
That's
Quake
on
Dads
Pixel's
and Quake
notes.
Babies?
I think that's something that was said in the chat, and I wrote it down. I was like, all right.
It's Quake. It's been around forever.
Yeah, I feel like
It's got
I'm
like
like-
heroes, like Overwatch.
So,
Has-
I think the last Quake came out a pretty long time ago,
I
and
feel
like
like
Quake
people
was
were
a
like,
huge installment in gaming for a minute, like in the early like online age. So
I feel like people were mad we didn't see like a release date for this still. Like I think people are like,
It's been around for a while. It's been in closed beta, I
didn't know
guess, or
about that.
phase
Like,
alpha
I think
for a
maybe
few
I saw
years.
Sarah like I'm done because no release date, like whatever at this point. And then I also saw like Sith tweet like one of his tweets where he's just like talking about like it's like the happiest day ever, and then hashtag Quake champion.
What?
like how Sith will like find a ridiculous game from like a conference or something.
Oh
and
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about how excited he is, and then the hashtag the game. Like I know he did that with ARMS for the Nintendo Switch reveal too.
I didn't care much about this. This was the
The-
low of
Yeah.
Bethesda, and I think with this next game it started getting a little better,
Yeah.
and then it gets.
So last thing with Quake and a bunch of other games from throughout E3, there was a lot of, okay, you can go like play a free trial of the game now for like a week, or go for free, get into this game, which I thought was
Yeah.
really cool. There was a couple games like that where they were like, yep, it's free, go play
I
it.
love the, and it's available now. Like
Yeah,
that seems like a new
Bethesda-
thing, and I love
Bethesda's
that. It
the
makes
king
me
of
so
that.
excited. I like every time people talk about something when it's available, I clench now at E3
Bethesda is the king of that.
because it's just cool. Nintendo had probably I think the best one of those for me this year. And even though I have not gotten it, even though it was available then,
Oh, okay, we'll get to that.
it's still tight.
Yeah.
I love that that's happening, and it's like a trend now to make things available
Yeah.
right now.
Bethesda's done that a bunch. They like, oh, a brand new game you've never heard of and,
Yeah.
is massive, and any other studio would be 2 years from now. Nope, 3 months. Fall. Anyway, we got a big update for Prey called Moon Crash.
I
It
thought
looks
this was
like...
I thought this was a new Prey. Is it
No,
not?
I
a
think
new...
it's just an update.
Wasn't there
like
already a
DLC
Prey?
expansion.
Wasn't there a Prey 2?
No?
Okay. When did Prey come out?
I don't... I remember I asked this.
Actually,
bad, I
what
think.
is Prey,
I
guys?
don't know. I think it looks cool, though.
One of Pixel's notes on Prey Moon Crash is just hashtag wrecked. Which could
He
mean anything.
died.
So
He
Yeah.
died.
The Moon Crash update is that it's basically Prey Randomizer,
Whoa, randomizer!
Oh,
which
looks like
was
a-
the
like a-
second thing where we were like, where the hell is Slim?
You can
like a
transform
robot
into
thing.
you can transform into a spray bottle in this game, which is what I got out of it, and that looks
Yeah,
tight.
so-
I like that.
So yeah, there's the randomizer mode where the goal is you're on the moon and you have to get off the moon. And, it's different each time, different enemies, hazards, and that kind of thing. So I think that's pretty cool. It's got a lot of replayability and it's free, I believe.
But it was it multiplayer that you can like be the item
But
mimic.
then
the
they're
object?
also adding later on like a prop hunt multiplayer game mode.
That looks like fun. I think. I feel like
Yeah.
we would have fun playing that, where like
I
you could
think
just be like,
we
"I was
would.
a fucking chair, bitch," and then you can like kill your friends.
Yeah. There was a bit on... So I guess Prey has mimics, which, can turn into different objects.
Yeah.
So there was a bit in the stream where,
Oh, that's
they-
right.
the two people came out, and, like, in the little preview before, there was, like, a mimic that had attacked them. Like, it was, like, a video.
Yeah. That's
So
that's
when
what
they
this-
came
that's
out
what
on
this-
stage...
That's
the
what this
guy-
note is that says Susan is going to kill us all.
Yeah, so when they came out on the stage, the guy got out, like, a sticky pad and wrote, "Not a mimic," and put it on the girl, Susan. And, like, later on, it, like, fell off when they were stressing how a mimic she was.
Right.
And it was,
right.
I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was just like a, all right.
I
that's kinda-
think it wasn't on purpose. They just
Yeah,
rolled
but if
the
it was a
punches.
strategically timed, like, sticky substance that would eventually unstick at the exact planned moment.
But that was pretty funny because it was kind of just like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess she's gonna kill us all.
It's
Yeah.
the best part of improv. You go with the flow.
Yeah, it was okay. I thought that was kind of funny. The little how they were
Yeah.
like, are we mimics or not?
Mimics are awesome. My favorite myth creature.
My
Anything
favorite
else?
My favorite myth creature is the Slim Kirby.
Hi.
My favorite, actually, I take that back. My favorite myth creature is Dragonair.
My favorite. If that wasn't what yours was gonna be, that was what my next one was.
Okay.
That'll poke one.
Wolfenstein 2 DLC.
Yep.
It's like
They were riding the wave of fuck Nazis pretty hard, and that's pretty cool.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say fuck Nazis at.
blank on his name. Pete Hines, said this continues our goal of spreading the message of fuck Nazis
Yeah.
to every system and console or whatever, which is pretty good message.
Yeah.
I guess she plays the character's daughters or something in the future.
You play as Gung Ho Gus's daughters or whatever the main guy's name.
I don't know.
That's him, Gung Ho Gus, the main character of Wolfenstein.
Gunkus Gramps or whatever. Oh no, I don't remember the guy's name.
Count Doofus or whatever.
Count Doogus. Doogoof. Count Doogoof.
Whatever.
You play as two lady twins that are the daughters of the main guy from Wolfenstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two.
So now we're getting to the best part of the conference,
Todd
which is
Howard's
when
meme
Todd Howard
carousel.
Todd Howard came
like-
out like a goddamn rock star, and it was great.
Todd Howard is a meme, and he has fully embraced the meme.
Yeah. He leaned
he's
so
just-
hard into memedom.
He's such a just a genuine nice guy. And
Yeah.
I just want to be friends with
Cool.
him. I like listening to him speak. He's cool.
He definitely
Got a
held
great
a
voice.
presence that like no other fucking stage
Yeah.
talker had.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Best
any
presenter.
E3 that I can remember, really.
Best presenter at any E3 is Todd Howard.
It was good.
Um,
And they opened
So,
with a
yeah.
hilarious bit.
So yeah, he comes out, he announces, everything, something you've all been waiting for, So here we go, take a look. It's Skyrim, very special edition. You can play on your Amazon Alexa. And it was a funny video with Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah.
I love Keegan.
And it was hilarious.
In Pixel's notes, in fact, it just says good old Keegan on here. So-
It was very funny.
it was funny. And apparently
it was
that
a
thing
good-
is real, and you can
And,
get
yeah, here's
Skyrim
the
for your
kicker.
Alexa.
It's real. You can download that shit. I guess.
My favorite bit was when they were like, "It's on your fridge," and there was like cast ice or something, and ice came out of the.
Yeah, it was a very funny bit. And there's like, oh, it's coming to Etch-a-Sketch, and
Yeah.
your penis.
Your
play it on the go.
Nokia like
Yeah,
thing or
on some old ass phone. Yeah, it was
pager, your Nokia pager.
It was funny.
So then they got to the real announcement, which is Fallout 76, which they
Which-
kind of teased.
Yeah. Microsoft sniped this one a little bit, but
Microsoft sniped, a lot.
I wasn't invested in this until they showed it here, and then I was
Yep.
pretty invested in it. It looked pretty cool.
So it started out, they showed a trailer, which is the same trailer they showed at Microsoft. But they got deeper into it, and
Yeah.
it's an MMO, it's an open world Fallout MMO.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
I think is super cool.
I think MMO is the wrong... Like, we were talking about this with Anthem, too. I feel like MMO is the wrong word for these kind of games, though. Like, with how they're becoming.
I don't think it was
You
the
think?
wrong word for Anthem, but I think maybe it's not quite the case here, but it also could outweigh.
I guess
It's-
massively multiplayer online. Like, when I think MMO, I just think of MMORPGs, but I guess this is...
Right.
I mean, and Fallout is an RPG in a lot of
Yes.
ways. But I don't know. I feel like this is sort of a different, like, breed than, like, your classic...
It's very
MMO.
interesting because they say you'll never see like a server list. Like it's all hidden
Yeah.
behind scenes, and it's very like seamlessly integrated.
Whenever I see one of these games, I always think, like, could we have fun with this?
Yeah,
Like Puddle Plains. And I think we would have fun with this one. Or at least I like to hope.
yeah.
It's when they showed off that you can build, like, your little community and stuff with people, and then you can also just nuke everything. Like,
Yeah,
there's
so-
just available nukes around. Like that fucking part in Fallout 3 where it was like do you nuke the town or not? Like, it was
Yeah,
a
there was a
big
big,
fucking
like,
selling
moral
point for that
decision.
game.
Yep.
Yeah, now you can just nuke everything. Which
You
in
can-
one way seems like they're like, it's like jump the shark, but also I don't really care about Fallout that much, and it just seems fun, like that you can do
Yeah,
that.
it just seems like a fun time, and it also
Yeah.
takes place in Pixel's home, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Country roads,
Oh,
take the soul home.
Reminds me of that Pixels from Canada to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to know that.
Graphics wise, I thought it looked pretty clean too. It looked solid.
It's definitely the same engine as Fallout 4,
But
but
I think
enhanced a little bit.
yeah, I think the setting it maybe just lends itself to like prettier graphics for this.
I also thought there's some pretty great sketches with the like just the cartoons they have with the Vault Boy.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
those are-
showed the Vault Tech videos.
Johnny isn't coming over for a cup of sugar. He's coming over for a cup of murder.
Yeah.
Very
They really
good.
got a big cut out of me.
Those
As a-
cartoons are so my aesthetic.
As a
Yeah, they're
hardcore
very good.
as a hardcore Mothman fan, I'm really glad that they're leaning into West Virginian folklore. I
Yeah,
know
there's,
they
looks like
mentioned-
there's a lot of cool enemies.
there was
which
like
I
a
think
bat
is-
monster thing. I think the
Yeah.
Flatwoods monster is probably going to be in it, or maybe the West Virginian Black Panther could be like a monster.
I think
That's cool. I
Yeah.
like that it's like it feels like a real setting. I guess New Vegas
sure.
was like that too, but like the Fallout 3, which is the only one I've put like a decent
I need
amount of
to play
time
that.
into, was just like
it was just
like,
in DC.
gross. Like, it was just like grime. Like I don't know. I didn't like it that much, but I think I'm into it. You know what?
Yeah, the
I
enemy
think
variety
so.
looks good because I think that was one of my big problems with Fallout 4 was there was not a good variety of enemies. Like wildlife, I mean. But whatever. Looks cool. There's going to be a beta. I forgot to
Yeah,
link anything with that.
They called it
should've-
like the break it early or something.
Yeah, the break it early test application or something.
Yeah, it was
that.
just a cute like
Because
self-referential.
Todd made a joke, about, I've heard our games don't just work, which is
Yeah.
a callback to when they announced Fallout 4, and he said, and everything just works.
Todd, yeah, he definitely like owned up to like his meminess a
Yeah.
little bit, in a charming way.
In a good way, for sure. And you can get a glow in the dark map,
Oh god, you can,
has some
you
figures,
can get the helmet
and
too,
you can
right?
get a power armor helmet.
Ridiculous.
So you can wear that and your Fallout 4 Pip-Boy.
Speaking of weird pre-order stuff, didn't Rage 2 also have like a monster head you could get? It's like wasn't it like a
Maybe.
gross mutant like Billy the Singing Bass kind of thing or something? It
I
was
think so.
nasty, dude. Fuck Rage 2. I changed my mind.
And the last kind of Fallout thing they announced was Fallout Shelter is coming to it is on PS4 and Switch. I've been playing Fallout Shelter on the Switch. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
So, which it's something I wanted to check out when it came out on mobile a few years ago. But like,
Tune
how
in
the
on
fuck
Puddle.
does anyone play mobile games?
Tune in
Who
on
has the
Puddle
space
Plains.
much?
Tune in on Puddle Plains for Siz's Fallout Shelter playthrough.
What if?
Anyone have anything to add for Fallout stuff?
Looks cool.
Really.
So then they moved on to Elder Scrolls-y things. They announced Elder Scrolls Blades, which is probably the most ambitious game I've ever heard of.
Yeah, for the
Because-
platform.
Because it's on literally everything. It's on
Right,
mobile,
that's right.
it's on consoles, it's on PC, and you can do like VR on all of them, and play all together on all of them.
I'm just gonna make a big old prediction right now. If you want to melt through any substance, load this game up and just put your phone on it.
I
It
think
doubles
that's-
as a blowtorch.
But like, it'll need to be within 5 minutes because that's how long your battery will last.
Yeah.
absolutely.
To be-
So
it-
he said
like-
it's designed best for like an iPhone XS or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Graphically, it really did look impressive for a phone
For a
game.
mobile, absolutely.
Mhm.
But I wasn't
It's
super
free.
invested otherwise.
Was the other thing.
It looks like it'd be cool for like. It looks like it's kind of like maybe trying to market toward like more classic Elder Scrolls fans,
Yeah.
which is I guess a cool idea. I know Odin seemed pretty into the idea.
Odin loves
It's
mobile
super
games. I
ambitious. Is the most I can say.
Also,
for it.
like willing to try anything. I guess is his biggest
Yeah.
thing. Especially if it's like cheap or free.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks super interesting. I hope it all works out on launch. It won't.
guess.
It's coming out this fall, I guess.
It won't.
Yeah,
It probably
I think
will,
it'll come
actually.
out in the fall. I just don't think it'll work. So then they announced a new next gen. So they specifically said the next generation.
Yeah, this was definitely
So definitely this is Xbox point to the final chapter prologue and PS4, PS5, PC, game. And it's a new IP for them, which is big because they don't have a lot of those.
Mhm.
And it's basically space.
I mean,
cool.
if Wally can do space, well, this can do space.
I'm really nervous because I've for months been slaving over a space-themed Garfield fan game, and now I am just terrified that project's going to get a cease and desist.
Yeah, because this game is called Starfield. And if you kind of squint, it absolutely does look like it says Garfield.
Or Seinfeld, I feel like.
Yeah.
What if they sent a cease and desist to Seinfeld?
The audacity.
Big star.
So they didn't show. It was just a quick little teaser.
Yeah, I've never historically been a huge Elder Scrolls or Fallout fan, but the idea of that style in space is definitely intriguing to me. I
I
think.
think whatever it
Sounds
is,
cool.
they'll do it justice. I think they'll do the
I
genre
think it'll be
justice.
solid. I think it'll
Yeah.
be good.
And one last thing.
One more
after
thing.
One more thing I need to show.
So they showed a quick teaser for Elder Scrolls 6.
Whoa!
It's finally coming. We don't know anything about
Not for another 5 years.
it. No.
5 more years. 5 more years.
Next gen, baby.
They basically just said, yes, it exists. Please stop.
Shut up. But I mean,
That's
I
what
still
they
think
want
it's
to
a
get
cool.
across.
It's definitely cool just to get something concrete about that.
Yeah.
Sure. For sure.
So after Skyrim has dominated 7 years of gaming, to finally see that they're like, all right, we're moving on. This is what's next on the horizon. Not that it was not going to happen, but just
So-
it's like Metroid Prime 4 was last year, just to
It's
See
a
it.
thing.
yeah.
So that was it for Bethesda. Rocky start, but saved at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's not even what's coming up next. Never mind.
Todd Howard reeled it back up from the EA
It was-
cringe depth.
It was trash tier for a little bit, and then Todd Howard
yeah.
remind us about God.
This is tanking. Get it, Todd Howard.
Yeah. What if
Yeah.
Todd was not even planned? They were just like, all right, send Todd out.
Todd
Yeah.
Howard made
Calling the tactical Todd strike.
Todd Howard made a weird analogy for E3 going through the moody teenager years or some shit. I don't know. That kind of went over my head, but I guess it sounded wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had memes directly after.
None of us had high expectations for Devolver Digital, right? Didn't we all think it was not going to be as good as
Yeah,
it wouldn't
I was
look
like, what are they gonna do this time? We already know.
I don't know what I thought, to be honest.
Yeah, like,
They, for me personally at least, they did the best thing fucking possible. They created lore.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is Devolver Digital Volume 2.
Everything in life deserves to have lore, and the fact that this now has lore, there's a continuity to it, makes me interested in seeing at least a third installment in the Devolver Digital trilogy.
Yeah.
Right.
Where is it
Okay.
from?
What's up, Slim?
Okay, so I actually like the first time I heard about Devolver Digital was obviously last year during what happened. Apparently, and I talked to someone who actually went to E3, who's been there like several times. Apparently, Devolver Digital's always done stuff like this. It's just last year. Last year, it was just the first time it got like heavily
interesting.
broadcasted.
Interesting.
So they're known for this meme stuff that we see every time their conferences come.
This was just the first time. Or last year was just the first time.
That's
Everyone who died came back.
It's you really have to just go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we said about it last year, right? That,
There
like,
was definitely-
Telling you about it is
There
not
was,
productive.
there was definitely a part where I like genuinely like was shocked, and I was like mad at myself for it. I was like, how the hell am I gonna actually like be getting into this and be like, holy shit! I'm like, come on,
It was
man.
They took us on a journey.
They did. I did think it was maybe a little less funny than last year. They took I remember they took a shot at that guy from IGN, which was kind of funny.
What was that?
Fucking no, I'm really maybe Pixel has it in his notes. Let me look.
I don't know. It started to cut out for me near the end. Like,
Oh, Greg Miller. They took a shot
okay.
at Greg Miller, which is good because fuck Greg Miller.
I don't know what that is.
I thought
he's
that was
like-
just a parody character.
No. He works at IGN. He's like or at least did at least. He's like the guy from IGN. And then
So-
the joke where they were like, "Here's our new console," and the guy was like, "This is just a Sega Dreamcast," and he's like, and it just has a copy of Metal Wolf Chaos for Xbox inside it. I thought that was pretty funny.
That never came out. That's not a real game.
Yeah.
So so they announced they showed 3 games.
Oh, and sorry, the Bitcoin thing was funny, like hilarious
Yeah.
too.
So so they showed 3 games and they took shots at a lot of like the new trends like battle royale, loot boxes, cryptocurrencies, and nostalgia consoles.
Meanwhile, just having these great like B-roll like 2-second shots of crowds, which are just hilarious to me.
Yeah, they do that a lot too.
Popcorn. Some all love the fucking popcorn.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, so just seriously go watch last year's if you haven't seen it, and then watch this year's because we're not kidding when we say there is lore, there is story.
Pretty funny. What was the game like?
So the first game, it was like I think it's like a battle royale kind of game
Right.
where they're like prisoners who fight, and then like when you die, you turn into a zombie or something.
I don't
really
remember
know.
that, Really.
It was the first thing they showed. I honestly don't even remember what it's called. It might be Scum Game.
Pixel wrote Scum Game on here, so.
Look, it was
Yeah,
like
it's called
11
Scum.
at night.
It's a very confusing conference.
They had
It's called-
Vote for
it's described as
Pedro.
a prison riot survival game.
Yeah. Vote for
Yeah.
Pedro was the game where you can use... It looked like a fucking Flash game or something, but like a fun
definitely
one.
Definitely called My Friend Pedro. But
Vote
like,
for Pedro.
Sure.
That looked really cool.
It
Yeah,
looks
it's
funny.
pretty
It looked
cool
like it
gun
had some...
physics.
Yeah, it had some potential for good comedy.
And in a twist no one could ever predict, PC and Switch.
Yeah.
That's what it's releasing on. Like, what a combo.
Switch is kind of like a little indie game haven these days, so I can
That's
see
super
that.
cool.
Switch gets a lot of stuff.
It's just a weird pairing to see.
And then...
Metal.
And then, so
Then-
here's From Software's second appearance at E3.
Yeah.
A remake of an old game of theirs called Metal Wolf Chaos, which I had never heard of. It's just like a cringe robot mech.
Was this like a
There-
Japan only game?
Yeah, Derek Alexander did a video on this, which is how I know about it. And it's sort of like if Top Gun was about robots instead. Or
Okay.
no, I'm sorry, not Top Gun. What's that fucking movie? Oh God, it's like you're the president, and you're in a robot, and like the president
Okay.
goes around in a robot and kicks ass.
Oh.
Air Force One, that's what I was thinking of. It's like
Oh,
that,
these-
but a robot
this is
instead.
Evangelion, right?
Yeah, from what I know, it's just got really really hammy voice acting, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of cringe.
It was like it was a game they made to market the Xbox to Japan, if that tells you anything.
From what I've seen, a lot of people like say they found out about it through Super Best Friends Play or whatever.
Yeah. I think they played it on that.
Yes.
It's like a silly meme game, and it's
coming
coming
back?
out for real.
And then there was a sequel hook for Devolver Digital Part 3, Volume 3,
We can
I
read
will
for next year.
just floored by that.
Yep.
All right.
Go watch Devolver Digital streams. They're funny.
Boy,
So that was it for Sunday.
God, we have so much
Day.
left, you guys. Fuck, guys.